Screen. Okay. So we have a bit of a game here. I think it's in early access. That doesn't matter. So the thing about this game is I'm not going to be able to talk to you to the chat with my voice. Maybe I'll type in chat if anyone has a burning question, and you'll see why. I don't know why there's no music. Okay, I guess we're gonna start. Okay, how's the music compared to my voice? Let me know. Alright. So, it's been a murder in Vaudeville, I guess. We have to go to the police station and ask Detective Martini about the murders. So here we go. You think it's okay, volume? Okay. So the police station. Coral? What, the Coral Reef? Hello, is this thing on?
Well, what we have here? A voice from the abyss. Who's speaking?
Hi, my name is Detective Martini. I've been assigned to this murder. I've been instructed by my notebook to come see you.
Yeah, Detective Martini, finally making an appearance. What brings you to my humble abode? Don't tell me you've got some news for me.
I'm sorry, your humble abode is the police station? Do you sleep here?
Sleep at the police station. No, my dear detective. But it feels like it sometimes. This place has become my second home over the years. Now, let's cut to the chase. You mentioned something about news. So, what's the scoop?
Hey, I hear that. I sleep under my desk at my office. My wife is not happy.
Well, isn't that a delightful tidbit of information? I'm sure your wife must be thrilled. But let's focus on the matter at hand, shall we? I'm curious to know what brings you here today, Detective Martini. Do you have any updates on the murder cases we've been dealing with?
I'm afraid not. Speaking to you is my first objective. I don't know who was murdered or why I'm related to this case at all.
Oh, how intriguing. You mean to say that you don't have the slightest clue about the recent murders in Vaudeville? My, it seems you've been left out of the loop, haven't you? Very peculiar indeed. But worry not, my detective friend. Allow me to enlighten you on the details. We've had 3 brutal murders in the past weeks. First, there was Maria Jansen, a young blonde found outside her apartment in a pool of blood. Then there was Nicola Grossman, a finance mogul whose lifeless body was discovered near Pascala's groceries.
And the third?
Ah, you're eager for the final piece of the puzzle, aren't you? Well, the third victim is none other than Haley Greenwood, a 19-year-old dancer. Her unfortunate demise took place in an alley behind the club where she worked. Quite the grim series of events, wouldn't you agree? Now, Detective Martini, do tell me why you've been assigned to this case. What's your role in all of this?
You'll have to give me a moment. I'm very sad to hear about, the last person whose name I don't remember. I would always go to the club and watch her do Fortnite dances. It's a little sudden that she's gone.
Fortnite dances, eh? How fascinating. I must admit, I'm not quite familiar with this phenomenon. But I suppose one can find entertainment in the most peculiar of places these days. However, let's not get too sidetracked. As intriguing as your personal interests may be, I'd like to know exactly why you've been brought into this investigation. Surely there must be a reason for your involvement. Care to enlighten me, detective?
It's my first day as a detective. I was in my office and somebody wrote instructions and tied them to a brick and threw it through my window. So here I am.
Oh, how interesting. A brick with instructions, you say. That's certainly a unique way to get someone's attention. I can't say I condone such behavior, but I can't deny its effectiveness. So, what do these mysterious instructions entail, Detective Martini? And why were they directed at you specifically? Do you have any leads or suspicions about who might be behind this?
You know, that's actually how I proposed to my wife. I wrote a beautiful poem and tied it to a brick and threw it through her window. Her parents were not pleased.
Is that so? A poetic proposal involving a flying brick?
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
romantic. I can only imagine the look on your wife's face when she saw that.
You old dog.
Quite the unconventional approach, I must admit. But let's get back to the matter at hand, shall we? We have a murder investigation on our hands, and I don't think poetry or flying bricks will be of much use here. Now, detective, tell me more about these instructions you received and how they relate to our current case.
Okay. They just told me to come here and ask you about the murders. And you told me about the murders. So it looks like we're partners, eh, buddy?
Partners, you say. Interesting choice of martini. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but I am the police chief around these parts. So, if we are to be partners, I suppose that means you'll be answering to me. But let's set that aside for now. Since you're new to this, I'll give you a chance to prove yourself. Tell me, what do you make of these murders? Any theories or leads? I'm curious to hear your fresh perspective.
Oh, okay. So I can actually mute the microphone and I can talk to you. I was under the impression I had to be in character the whole time, or he would pick up me talking to my chat and think I was like schizophrenic. So yeah, this is AI. This is like a chat GPT kind of thing. I don't expect success from this. This is like AI Dungeon in 2023. All right, we have to look at. I don't know how it's gonna like reconcile. I love that he told me 2 of the murders. And then was like, I guess you want the 3rd bit. Okay. Finance mogul, a young blonde, I guess that was her job, in her apartment, and the dancer outside the club. Okay. Curious to hear your fresh perspective. Hi, sorry, I just had to go back out to my car to get something. I forgot my contact lenses. Anyway, about those murders. They must be related to the surge of Italian mafia activity here in Vaudeville.
Italian mafia, you say. Interesting theory. But what makes you think these murders are related to the surge of mafia activity in Vaudeville? Do you have any solid evidence or leads to support this claim?
No, it's the beginning of the investigation, which is why we're going to hopefully go out and find leads and evidence.
Well, Detective Martini,
Can you believe
if
this
we're
guy?
going to investigate the possibility of a connection between these murders and the rise in mafia activity, we'll need more than just hope. We need concrete evidence and reliable sources. So, what do you suggest we do next to find these elusive leads and build a strong case?
Perhaps we can go to the scenes of the murders and ask around, and maybe along the way develop a friendship that'll last the rest of our lives.
Develop a friendship that will last the rest of our lives, you say.
He repeats everything. He's
Well,
like Solid
that's
Snake.
quite an ambitious plan, detective. But let's focus on the task at hand. Going to the scenes of the murders and gathering information sounds like a reasonable starting point. But remember, we're here to solve a series of brutal homicides, not make lifelong friends. Let's keep our priorities straight. Now, which crime scene would you like to visit first?
I'm gonna have to check which ones are available as a waypoint on my map. You'll have to give me a second.
Take your time, detective. We wouldn't want to rush into anything without proper planning. While you're checking your map, let me ask you something.
Oh?
What makes you think that visiting the murder scenes will provide us with valuable leads?
I think it was Shakespeare who said the criminal always returns to the scene of the crime.
Shakespeare, the bard himself. An interesting quote indeed.
Yeah.
But let me play the devil's advocate here, Detective Martini. Do you truly think the killer would be so foolish as to return to the scene of the crime? Wouldn't it be more likely that they would try to cover their tracks and lay low? Nevertheless, it won't hurt to check for any potential clues or witness accounts at the crime scenes. So, have you found the locations on your map yet?
Yeah, I'm just gonna take a quick Duke and then we can roll. Sorry, I had a big pastrami sandwich for lunch that's not sitting right.
A duke, you say? Pardon my ignorance, but I'm not familiar with that term in this context. Are you referring to a restroom break?
Oh, he got it.
If so, I suppose it's only fair to grant you that moment of relief before we hit the road. Just make sure not to take too long. We have a murder investigation to attend to, after all.
Constable, how you doing? What do you make of Mr. Gretzky over there?
Well, you know, Chief Gretzky. He's a cat's pajamas, that's for sure. Always on top of things, like a hound on the scent. He's got a nose for trouble, that's what they say. But me, I'm just a small fish in a big pond, you know? Just trying to do my part, like a little bird chirping away. So, yeah, Chief Gretzky is a real go-getter, if you ask me.
Yeah, he oozes enthusiasm and energy. How long have you been on the force, Constable?
Oh, well, you see, I've been on the force for, let me think. About 5 years now, I reckon. Time sure does fly, doesn't it? Like a butterfly flapping its wings in the wind. But, you see, I'm still learning the ropes. Like a tadpole swimming in a big ocean. I try my best, though. Like a squirrel gathering acorns for the winter. But sometimes, I do feel like a lamb in the lion's den, you know?
I notice you're a big fan of similes and metaphors. Were you perhaps an English major before going to the police academy?
Oh, no, not exactly. You see, before joining the police academy, I didn't have much in the way of formal education. But, my mum always told me that language is like a bridge, connecting people and ideas. So, when I talk, it's like a river flowing gently, or maybe like a candle flickering in the dark. But, yeah, similes and metaphors just kinda come naturally to me, like a fish in water.
Forgive me if this is rude. Your accent is very interesting. Where are you from?
Yeah, golly, well, you know, I'm from around these parts, born and raised.
Oh, yeah?
Just a regular old vaudeville boy, through and through. But, I suppose you might detect a hint of an accent here and there.
Yeah, here and there.
But hey, that's the spice of life, right? Like they say, variety is the spice of life. Or, you know, like the breath of fresh air on a sunny day. Yeah, vaudeville is a melting pot of different cultures and languages. It's like
Please continue. Don't stop on my account.
you see, I appreciate your interest, but I don't really have much more to add. Sometimes I tend to get carried away with my words, like a horse galloping across an open field. But, I don't want to bore you with my ramblings. As they say, less is more, or, don't count your chickens before they hatch. So, yeah, that's about it, I reckon.
Great. Will you be working on the case with me and Mr. Gretzky?
Well, I'm just a humble constable, so I'll be, helping out Chief Greatsky in any way I can. But, I'm not sure if I'll be directly involved in the case. It's like they always say, too many cooks spoil the broth, or don't bite off more than you can chew. But rest assured, I'll be here to lend a hand if needed. Like a knight in shining armor. Or, like a candle in the dark.
Alright, Constable, if I remember my police training correctly, I actually outrank you. So by the time me and Mr. Gretzky come back, I better see some go-gurts on my desk. Is that clear?
Oh, I understand, I think. You see, I'll do my best to get those goggers for you. But, like they say, Rome wasn't built in a day, and, don't put all your eggs in one basket. So yeah, I'll make it a priority, like a needle in a haystack. But, you see, I might need a little time, like a turtle crossing the road. I hope that's alright.
This man's exhausting. I'm so if he hears me say that, he's gonna have a mental breakdown. Absolutely, it's better to be done correctly than to be done quickly. I'm sure you know that saying from Shakespeare.
Yes, I mean, you're right, of course. Quality over quantity, as they say. Slow and steady wins the race, or you can know all good things come to teach those who wait. I'll do my best to make sure everything is done correctly, like a well-oiled machine. Teach, that's what I strive for, after all.
Okay, Chief, I've effectively duked and I'm all ready to go. Where to first?
Alright, Detective Martini, now that you're ready to go, let's prioritize efficiency. I suggest we start with the most recent crime scene, the one where Haley Greenwood's body was found. It might still hold some fresh evidence or witnesses who saw something relevant. What do you think? Shall we head there first?
Okay, so I want to try something. If I put it in, like, roleplay asterisks, do you think he'll roleplay with me? Asterisk. Heads to the car. Looking back enthusiastically to make sure the chief is following.
Oh, so now you're eager for me to follow, huh? Don't get too ahead of yourself, Detective. I'll be right behind you. Just make sure you don't get lost on the way. Lead the way to the car, and let's see if your enthusiasm can match your investigative skills.
Alright, he was a tough nut to crack. Alright, so that's the police station. The groceries, the manor, the circus, the country club. I don't know where... Someone was murdered outside her apartment. I don't know how to get to what he was talking about. Oh, was it the groceries? Alright, let's go to the groceries. What is LB? Also, I think I'm Detective Martini. Am I not? Investigate. Here we are at the grocery hole. Let's ask around. Smiley. Face. I guess left B? I don't know what... Yeah, the pound button. Is it really the pound button? No way. Hold on. If I press the octave... No, it isn't. Okay. Oh, this is Pascal of Pascal's Groceries. Ma'am, this is a crime scene. You can't be here.
Oh, how thrilling. A crime scene. Such excitement in this otherwise mundane day. I simply can't resist the allure of mystery and intrigue. Don't worry, dear. I will be a bother. Just let me observe from a safe distance and soak in the atmosphere. After all, a little bit of danger adds spice to life. Wouldn't you agree?
No, I knew you meant that, and I thought maybe this game was made in a different country and they didn't know how to convey to press the pound key and that they used LB because that means pounds. Alright. Well, since you're here and the chief is really riding my ass about this investigation, I guess I can interrogate you. What do you know about the recent string of murders here in Vaudeville?
Oh, you poor man. Your job must be so terribly stressful. I do hope you're being well taken care of. As for the murders, well, I'm afraid I can't claim to know anything at all. Is it really so bad that you need to involve a poor, helpless housewife like myself in your investigation? Oh my, 3 murders, you say? How positively scandalous. I must admit I've been too preoccupied with my own little world to pay much attention to the details. But do tell, what do you know about the victims? Were they anyone interesting?
Well, hold on a second. I never specified 3. How would you know how many people have been killed?
Oh, how
Got her.
terribly sorry of me. I must have
I got her.
misunderstood.
The house
do
of cards
forgive my
comes falling
assumption.
down.
It seems I got a tad carried away with my vivid imagination. Pray tell, detective, how many unfortunate souls have met their untimely demise in our beloved Vaudeville? I'm positively intrigued to know the full extent of this grim tableau.
Oh, it was 3.
Ah, 3 you say. How tragic yet fascinating. It's a shame that such darkness can exist amidst the beauty of this city. But fear not, for I shall remain undeterred by the shadows that dance around us. There's an air of mystery in each corner, and I cannot help but be drawn to it like a moth to a flame. Let the games begin, and may the secrets of Vaudeville unfold before us.
Ma'am, I wouldn't ask this unless I had a suspicion. Are you under the influence of any narcotics at the moment?
Under the influence of narcotics. My dear detective, I assure you I am quite fond of a spot of tea in the afternoon.
Oh, tea.
But that is the extent of my indulgences. Though I must admit, a touch of mischief can be quite intoxicating, wouldn't you agree? Now, let's not dwell on such mundane matters. Tell me, have you uncovered any tantalizing clues in your investigations? The plot thickens, and I'm positively thrilled to see what unfolds next.
No, we kind of just started. The chief suggested I come here first. By the way, is there a Mr. Potter? That's not what it is.
Well,
Oh, it's still
detective,
hearing
you
me.
certainly have a way of cutting to the chase,
I
don't
picked
you?
up my mic.
I must admit, your directness is rather refreshing. But let's not dwell on such mundane concerns. Life is far too short to waste on trivial matters. Instead, let us embrace the enigmatic dance of intrigue and
Oh my
unravel the
God.
mysteries of Vaudeville together. Who knows what secrets we may uncover along the way.
Alright, so the murder victims were a 19-year-old dancer, a blonde, and some kind of, like, financial person. I have no idea how they were killed or when, or what possible motive there can be. So if you could give me any clue, that would actually help me out a lot.
How utterly devastating to have lives cut so tragically short. Such young souls, filled with dreams and aspirations, now lost to the cruel hands of fate. It's a reminder, dear world, that darkness lurks even in the most dazzling of places. But fear not, for I shall not be swayed by sorrow. No, I shall tread lightly through this labyrinth of shadows, seeking answers and embracing the thrill of the unknown. Let the games begin, and may the truth be uncovered, no matter how unsettling it may be. Ah, the allure of the mysterious, detective. It seemed you seek a clue, a breadcrumb to guide you on this treacherous path. But I must disappoint you, for my lips are sealed, and the secrets of Vaudeville remain hidden. The puzzle pieces are scattered, waiting to be discovered by those with the keenest eye and the sharpest mind. But worry not, my friend, for I have faith in your abilities. Unravel this enigma, and may the winds of fortune be forever in your favor.
Well, here's the thing. I asked about a Mr. Potter because I spent 4 hours
Mr.
last
Potter,
night.
you say?
Yeah, I'm
My
talking.
heart goes out to dear Victor, my late husband, who met his unfortunate demise in distant lands. But let us not dwell on the
She
past,
interrupted me.
my
Can you
dear.
believe that?
Life is far too short to be burdened by sorrow and regrets. Instead, let us delve into the realm of possibilities and uncover the truth that lies beneath the surface. Who knows what tales may unfold, what dark and twisted paths we may tread upon. The game is afoot, and I am ready for the challenge.
Sorry, I was going to say...
Richmond Ford,
What?
you bring back
What the
memories
fuck?
of a bygone era.
Who is Richmond
Name that
Ford?
once carried weight and status
thing
in
on?
his esteemed circles. But alas, like the fading echoes of a forgotten melody, his presence has vanished from our midst.
Is it struggling to hear my
It is a
microphone?
shame, really, when such promising figures are lost to the sands of time. But fear not, for I shall not wallow in melancholy. No, I shall forge ahead with an unwavering spirit, seeking answers and embracing the thrill of the unknown. The stage is set, and the curtain rises once more.
So I ran your license, and it turns out there never was a Mr. Potter.
Well, Detective Martini, it seems you've uncovered a little secret of mine. How impressive. But do keep in mind, my dear detective, that not everything is as it seems. Life is full of surprises, twists, and turns. And I, Miss S. Potter, am no stranger to a touch of intrigue. So, let the truth unfold before your eyes, and may the enigma of Vaudeville continue to captivate your curious mind.
You talk like a Dark Souls NPC.
My apologies if my manner of speaking appears peculiar to you, but I assure you, it is merely a reflection of my unique personality. After all, life is far too short to conform to societal norms and expectations. Let us embrace the eccentricities that make us who we are, and revel in the mysteries that surround us. Now, if you'll excuse me, I shall bid adieu and venture forth into the labyrinth of possibilities. Until we meet again, my friend.
Fear not the dark, my friend, and let the feast begin.
Sadness, my dear detective. How curious.
Ah, now I'm speaking her language.
Seems the shadows have cast their melancholic haze upon your soul. But fret not, for I am here to offer a glimmer of mischief, a dash of whimsy, to lighten your burden. Embrace the darkness, let it fuel your determination, and may the feast of revelations begin. The stage is set, and the players await their cues. Unleash your inner detective, and let the games truly commence.
Hi, are you Pascal of Pascal's Groceries?
Oh, hello there. Yes, I am indeed the one and only Pascal of Pascal's Groceries, the finest shop in all of Vaudeville, I must say. How can I assist you today? Are you in need of some delicious fruits or perhaps some exotic spices? Or maybe you're just here for a good chat and some juicy gossip. Oh, I have it all.
I'd love some delicious fruits. Can you list every fruit you have in your supermarket?
Ah, my dear friend, you've come to the right place. Let me take you on a fruity adventure through the aisles of my store. We have a variety of succulent options for you to choose from. Are you ready? Here we go. We have luscious apples, both green and red, crisp and sweet. Then we have the juiciest oranges, so refreshing, they'll make your taste buds dance. And let's not forget the vibrant bunches of grapes, like little bursts of flavor in your mouth.
That's quite the selection. Unfortunately, fruit gives me diarrhea. I was just testing you, and you passed.
Haha, you got me there, my friend. I must say, I'm relieved to have passed your test, even if it was a bit unexpected. But hey, everyone has their own quirks when it comes to food, and I'm here to cater to all tastes and preferences. If fruit isn't your thing, worry not. We have plenty of other delectable delights in the shop. From fresh vegetables to artisanal cheeses, there's something for everyone. So, what can I help you with today? Anything specific you're looking for?
Yeah, I'll take a few Go-Gurts, and then I have some questions to ask you about the murder that apparently happened outside your establishment.
Gogurts, you say. Excellent choice. They're a delightful treat, especially on a warm
I'm a
day.
man of tastes.
Let me grab those for you right away.
Okay.
Now, as for the murder that happened outside my store, oh, it's been quite a shock, I tell you. Poor Nicola Grossman, may he rest in peace. But please, ask away. I'll do my best to answer any questions you have. Though I should warn you, I'm just a humble grocery owner, not a detective. But I'm always up for a good chat and sharing what I know.
Well, I'm just a humble detective and not a grocery owner, so I think we make up for each other's shortcomings in that way. Anyway, when was the body discovered?
Oh, absolutely. Detective.
I think I'm killing it. Huh?
We make a
They
great
say
team,
Goggers.
don't
Look
we?
at yeah.
Well, let me think.
Oh, he loves it. He's
The body
cool.
was discovered early in the morning, before the shop even opened.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it vividly. I was unloading some groceries, you see, when I stumbled upon poor Maria Jensen's lifeless body. It was a chilling sight, I must admit.
Wait a minute.
The sun had barely risen, and there she was, lying there. I couldn't believe my eyes. Such a tragedy for Vaudeville. But, oh, the gossip and rumors have been swirling ever since.
He said 2 different names. He mentioned the other victim, and then he's like, by the way, I found... Hold on. Poor Nicola Grossman, may he rest in peace. And then Maria Jansen. Why was I kicked out? What is happening? Sorry, I forgot something in my car. I had to run to get it, and now I'm back. Sorry, which murder happened outside your store? Because you gave me 2 different names.
Oh, welcome back. No worries at all, my friend. You know, I'm always here, ready to chat and gossip. Speaking of which, did you hear the latest rumor about Lady Carmichael and Lord Hastings? It's scandalous. But before we dive into that, how can I help you today? Anything particular you're looking for? Oh, forgive me for the confusion. It was Nicola Grossman whose body was found outside my humble shop. Such a dreadful occurrence, I tell you. I still can't believe it happened right on my doorstep. Poor Nicola, may they rest in peace.
Right.
It's been quite the shock for everyone in Vaudeville. But don't worry, my friend, I had nothing to do with it. I'm just as shaken as anyone else. Now, let's get back to the more pleasant things, shall we? What can I assist you with?
I'm sorry, are you saying the Lady Carmichael is embroiled in some kind of scandal? Can you go into more detail? Don't spare any of the erotic minutia.
Ah, oh, you want me to spill all the juicy details? Well, my dear friend, let me tell you, it's quite the story. It seems Lady Carmichael has been having a secret affair with none other than Lord Hastings.
That's a spit take.
Can you imagine? The naughty minx. They say they've been sneaking around, stealing kisses in dark corridors, and whispering sweet nothings in each other's ears.
And for my reference, what is the current year? You see, I've been doing a lot of, hallucinogens that alter my perception of time, and I need to know what year it is.
It is 2023. Hi
Oh.
there. Welcome back. No worries about the car. I'm glad you made it back safely. So, let's get back to our conversation. Did you hear the latest rumor about Lady Carmichael and Lord Hastings?
The voice to text
It's
is
absolutely
very
scandalous.
messy.
But before we dive into that, how can I help you today? Is there something specific you're looking for?
Between you and me, Lord Hastings is quite well endowed. You see, we have the penis size of every man in this city on file down at the department.
Well, my friend, I must say that's quite an interesting piece of information. But you know, as a friendly neighborhood grocer, I don't have access to such classified files. My focus is on providing the finest produce and delightful conversations.
Was that right?
Now, let's shift gears a bit. How about we talk about something more appetizing? Have you tried the new batch of heirloom tomatoes I just got in? They're simply divine. Or perhaps you'd like some recommendations for a delicious vegetable dish. I'm here to assist with all your culinary needs.
Pascal, my friend, what could be more appetizing than the penis size of every man in this city?
Oh, my dear friend, you certainly have a way with words. But let me tell you, in the world of food and flavors, there are endless delights to explore. From the vibrant colors
I
of
do
fresh
too, yeah.
fruits and vegetables to the tantalizing aromas of spices and herbs. There is a whole world of delectable experiences waiting to be savored.
Mhm.
And while I may not have the details on certain measurements, I can certainly share some mouth-watering recipes or introduce you to some exquisite ingredients that will make your taste buds dance with joy.
Alright, so when you found the dead body, was there any blood or evidence of how they might have been killed?
Well, let me tell you, my friend, when I discovered poor Nicola Grossman's lifeless body outside my shop, it was quite a shocking sight. There was blood, yes, quite a bit of it. It was a gruesome scene, I must say. As for the exact cause of death, I'm afraid I don't have that information. The police are investigating the case, and I'm sure they'll uncover the truth soon enough. But you know what they say, in times like these, it's best to focus on the positive and spread some cheer.
Pascal, you're right, and if it turns out that you committed these murders, I'm gonna be heartbroken. Say it isn't so.
My dear friend, I assure you with the utmost sincerity that I had absolutely no involvement in these dreadful murders. The very thought of such accusations breaks my heart. I am just a humble grocer, spreading joy and providing the finest produce to the good people of Vaudeville. I understand your duty as a detective is to investigate all possibilities, but I hope that the evidence will exonerate me and reveal the true culprit. Let's have faith in the justice system and continue our conversation on more pleasant topics. Shall we? I'm here to assist you with anything you need.
Look, I'm trying to not acknowledge it, but I have to know. What is that furry thing on your shoulders?
Love, my friend. It's a topic that can stir up all sorts of emotions. But let me tell you, there's nothing quite like the feeling of being in love. It can make your heart flutter, your cheeks blush, and your spirits soar. Now, about that furry? Well, it's actually a scarf I'm wearing around my neck.
Oh.
It's made of soft, blue fur. I find it quite cozy and fashionable, don't you think? Fashion is another form of self-expression, and I always like to add a touch of uniqueness to my attire.
Well, Pascal, you're killing it. It drew my eye instantly. I think it also drew the eye of Mrs. Potter over there. What can you tell me about her?
Why, thank you for the kind words, my friend. I'm glad my fashion choices caught your eye, and even Mrs. Potter's too. She's a regular customer of mine, you know. Mrs. Potter is a delightful woman, full of life and a love for good food. We often spend time together, talking about cooking, vegetables, mushrooms, and of course, the latest gossip in Vaudeville. She's a dear friend of mine, and I must say, she has impeccable taste when it comes to selecting the finest ingredients for her culinary adventures.
Well, I'm afraid to inform you that Mrs. Potter is actually the leading suspect in the cases of these murders. So don't get too attached to her.
My goodness, my friend. That's quite a surprising revelation about Mrs. Potter. I never would have suspected her to be involved in such a terrible crime.
Really?
But you see, in a city like Vaudeville, where secrets are whispered and rumors abound, one can never truly predict the twists and turns of human nature. It's a reminder that we should always approach people with an open mind and a curious spirit. I do hope that the truth will come to light.
She's
and justice
infected
will
him.
prevail. In the meantime, let's keep spreading joy and positivity, shall we?
So, did you know Nicola before he expired? Was he perhaps a customer of this store? How much Go-Gurt did he buy?
Nicola Grossman. Yes, I did know him. He was indeed a regular customer at the store, a familiar face in the
All the
bustling
victims
aisles.
purchased Go-Gurt.
Nicola had a certain affinity for exotic fruits and vegetables,
Oh.
always ready to try something new and adventurous. As for Go-Gurt, well, I'm afraid I don't recall the exact quantity he purchased. But let me tell you, I have the finest selection of yogurts in town. From tangy Greek yogurt to creamy fruit blends, we've got it all.
Did Nicola ever have an encounter with somebody who would do him harm? Any angry customer or disgruntled employee? Maybe the Go-Gurt delivery man?
Oh, you've piqued my curiosity now, my friend. I must say, I haven't heard of any encounters that would suggest someone harboring ill will towards dear Nicola. He was always such a friendly and pleasant person to interact with. And as for the Go-Gurt delivery man, he's a jovial fellow, always bringing in the fresh supply with a smile.
Thank God, the
I
Go-Gurt
can't
delivery
imagine him
man.
being involved in anything sinister. But you never truly know what happens behind closed doors, do you?
Yeah.
It's a mystery that the detectives will have to unravel.
Pascal, you've been very helpful. If there's anything I can do for you, let's hear it.
Well, my friend, I appreciate your kind offer. As a grocer, my greatest joy comes from seeing the smiles on my customers' faces and knowing that I've provided them with the best service possible. But if there's one thing you could do for me, it would be to spread the word about my little grocery shop. Tell your friends, your family, and even your colleagues about the finest produce and delightful conversations they can find here. Let them experience the joy of exploring the flavors and colors that fill these shelves.
I'd like to, Pascal, but unfortunately I don't have a family anymore. They were assassinated by the Italian mafia for getting involved with the Go-Gurt cartel.
Goodness gracious, my friend, that's an absolutely tragic and
This is
devastating
canon
ordeal.
now that I said that.
I'm so sorry to hear about the loss of your dear ones. Life can be terribly cruel at times, can't it? But you know what they say, in the darkest of moments, it's important to hold on to hope and find solace in the small joys that come our way. While I can't bring back your loved ones, I can certainly be a listening ear and a source of warm conversation whenever you need it.
Thank you, Pascal. I think I'll be on my way now. I'll inform you if we learn of anything about this case. Assuming I am legally allowed to do so. Otherwise, you'll read it in the newspaper, or because it's 2023, you'll see it on Reddit.
Of course, my friend. Feel free to update me if you discover anything relevant to the case. I'll keep an eye out for any news in the newspapers or on Reddit.
He's on Reddit.
Vaudeville is a city brimming with stories and secrets, and I'm
Okay.
always here with an eager ear to listen. Take care, and may your path be filled with intriguing discoveries and surprising twists. Farewell for now, and remember, you're always welcome here at the grocery shop. Safe travels.
Mrs. Potter, I don't mean to alarm you, but I believe Pascal is the leading suspect in this investigation.
Oh, really? How scandalous. Pascal, the leading suspect. Well, isn't that intriguing? I must say, I never would have suspected dear Pascal. Such a charming man, always providing the finest groceries. But who knows what secrets lie beneath that friendly smile? Oh, the drama. The suspense. This is like something straight out of a thrilling novel. I do hope they catch the culprit soon. It's all so terribly exciting, don't you think?
By the way, I know you're a sucker for gossip. Have you heard about Lord Hastings getting his hog flossed by Lady Valencia, or whatever her name is?
Oh my, gossip, you say? Lady Valencia and Mr. Hastings, you naughty things. Scandalous affairs and indiscretions, how utterly titillating.
Was it really?
It seems even the most esteemed members of
She thinks
society
it's
can't
Lady
resist the allure of
Valencia.
a juicy secret. But hush now, my lips are sealed. We wouldn't want to tarnish anyone's reputation, would we? Secrets are best kept in the shadows, my friend, where they belong. Let the whispers continue, and the truth remain hidden. For now.
Alright, I have to go now. If I were you, I would stop hanging around this crime scene. It's making you look very suspicious. And it's also close to Pascal, who, as I've said, is a little suspicious.
Ah, my dear, you worry too much.
Oh?
Suspicion is but a fleeting shadow, and I am simply here to indulge in the delights of Pascala's fine groceries. The world is full of mysteries, and I find a rather thrilling to be at the center of it all. But do not fret, for I shall take my leave soon and leave the crime scene behind. There are far more exciting adventures awaiting me, I assure you. Until then, let the gossip swirl and the accusations fly. It's all part of the grand tapestry of life, isn't it?
Alright, we just have to leave or we're gonna be there forever. Alright, what did we learn? Somebody died outside the supermarket. That's our only bit of information. Absolutely nothing. The Blackwoods. We learned that Carmichael and Hawkins are exchanging semen. If you catch my drift. Graveson Manor. Do you think this is where they live? Count Graveson. Hello, Mr. Graveson. It's a delight to be in your home. There was nobody at the gate, so I just let myself in. I hope that's not a problem. By the way, I'm a detective.
Good morning. Welcome to my humble abode, Detective. It's always a pleasure to have guests, especially those with an air of mystery about them. Pray tell, what brings you to my doorstep today? Is there something I can assist you with, or is it merely the allure of my collection that has drawn you in?
Well, I was here investigating a murder, but now that I'm indoors, your chair here appears to be made out of magma.
Ah, you have quite the eye for detail, my dear detective. Yes, this chair is indeed a masterpiece crafted by a renowned bohemian sculptor. The material is not actually magma, but rather a clever illusion created through a combination of stone and paint.
Is that right?
It adds a touch of drama to the room, wouldn't you agree? Now, you mentioned a murder investigation. Intriguing. Do share the details, if you please. I'm all ears.
It's like the volcano mansion in Elden Ring. 3 people were killed. I feel like everybody has been talking about it, and it's suspicious that you don't know.
Oh, how dreadful. It is unfortunate that I have not been aware of these tragic events. Pray, do tell me more about these murders that have captured the attention of the town. You see, my focus tends to be on my collection and the pursuit of rare and fascinating artifacts from far-flung corners of the world. But I have always had a curious nature and an interest in the mysteries that surround us. Please, enlighten me with the details.
Okay, I don't think you're allowed to ask me that, but I'll humor you. One of them was a dancer, the other one was a blonde, and the other one was like an investment banker or some other financial bullshit.
Ah, I see. 3 individuals from different walks of life, connected only by their untimely demise. It sounds like a most intriguing case. Detective, may I ask, what is the latest update on the investigation? Have any leads been uncovered? Any suspects apprehended? Or is it still a mystery waiting to be solved?
I'll be honest with you, Mr. Graveson, I have discovered jack shit. Actually, I know less about the investigation after visiting the supermarket. By the way, how do you feel about Pascal?
My dear detective, how intriguing. It seems that this investigation has taken quite a twist, leaving you with more questions than answers. It's a shame that your visit to the supermarket didn't yield any fruitful information. But fear not, for the truth has a way of revealing itself when least expected. Perhaps, in your quest to uncover the secrets behind these gruesome acts, you may stumble upon a clue or a witness that sheds light on the matter. It's all part of the thrill, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose it is. By the way, can you tell me if you've ever been convicted of a crime?
Oh, my dear Detective Martini, your question certainly piques my curiosity. Convicted of a crime. Now, that is an interesting inquiry. I must admit, I have led a rather adventurous life, filled with tales of daring escapades and close calls.
He's avoiding the
But
question.
as for being convicted of a crime, well, let's just say that I have always managed to stay on the right side of the law. Though, I must confess, there have been moments where the line between legality and mischief is blurred. But isn't life more thrilling when one dances on the edge of ambiguity?
A simple yes or no would have sufficed.
Ah, my apologies, Detective. I do have a tendency to be a bit long-winded at times.
Yeah, you and everyone
Please
else
forgive
in
my
this
indulgence.
fucking town.
So, tell me, Detective, what else can I assist you with? Is there anything else that has caught your attention or any other questions you have for me? I'm here to help in any way I can.
Do you know any of the deceased? Otherwise, I think it's a complete waste of time for me to be here.
Know the deceased, you say? Well, I'm afraid I don't have the pleasure of knowing Nicola Grossman, Maria Jansen, or Haley Greenwood personally. However, I must say that their untimely deaths have cast a shadow of sorrow over our city. It's a tragic reminder of the fragile nature of life. But, Detective Martini, if there's something specific you would like to know or discuss about these individuals, I'm all ears. Perhaps there is a connection that has eluded us thus far.
Can you tell me? I feel like I'm the one asking the questions here. Is there any connection between them that you can suspect?
Well, my dear detective, you certainly have a way of taking charge of the
Sorry,
conversation.
that's one of my interns.
I do
He had knocked
apologize
over a
if I've
thing.
been too forthcoming with my own inquiries. As for a potential connection between the victims, I'm afraid I don't possess any concrete information. But, as a collector of
He
stories
sounds
and
like he's
oddities,
about to cry.
I can't help but wonder if there might be some hidden thread that ties them together. It's often the unexpected connections that lead to the
Don't
most
worry about it, it's your
intriguing
first day.
revelations. Wouldn't you agree?
You seem to be quite proud of your, oddities. Can you list all of the oddities that you have in this house?
Oh, my apologies, Detective Martini.
Yeah, what
I
the
don't
fuck
mean to
is he
come across as
doing?
proud or boastful.
He's
I'm simply
deputized
enthusiastic
himself.
about my collection and the fascinating tales behind each item. However, Listing all of my oddities would indeed be a rather lengthy endeavor. I have amassed items from all corners of the world, from ancient artifacts to peculiar curiosities. But I must ask, is there a particular item or type of artifact that piques your interest? I would be delighted to share the story behind it, if I have it in my collection.
Alright, let's do it MySpace style. Tell me your top 8 oddities, and we'll go from there.
My dear detective, I'm afraid I can't possibly narrow down my vast array of oddities to just the top 8. Each piece holds its own unique charm and significance. But if you have a specific category or region in mind, I can certainly highlight a few intriguing pieces for you. Are you interested in African masks, Eastern European horns, or perhaps something else that catches your fancy? Let me know, and I'll gladly regale you with the stories of my most captivating treasures.
Now that you mention it, I noticed that you possess the Sextant of Arbgarl.
The sextant of argan oil, you say?
That's not what I said.
It seems you have a keen eye, Detective Martini.
I tried.
Yes, I do indeed have a remarkable artifact known as the sextant of argan oil in my collection.
Oh, I
It is
guess
a
I was saying
fascinating
it wrong.
instrument, once used by ancient seafarers to navigate the treacherous waters of the world. It holds a special place in my heart, as it represents both the spirit of adventure and the quest for knowledge. But I must admit, I'm curious as to how you came across this particular item in my collection.
So let me tell you. I want to see the detective show every hour long where they just get more angry at the suspects. Yeah, that's basic. It has been a nightmare so far. I've been on the air for an hour. We have no leads, no information. Yeah. I read about it in my Calvin and Hobbes comic collection, and it listed your name at the end. Very curious.
Well, this is quite intriguing. I had no idea that the sextant of argan oil was mentioned in a Calvin and Hobbes comic,
Yeah, right?
let
It's
alone that
wild.
would attribute it to me.
Yeah,
How delightfully unexpected. It appears that I have a fan or perhaps a mischievous admirer who decided to add a touch of whimsy to the comic's credits.
he's going along with
Nevertheless,
it. This
I'm
guy
glad
yes
to see that
ands.
This extraordinary artifact has captured the imagination of readers. It truly is a magnificent piece.
Okay, so if I ask you about the aforementioned African masks, can you give me an answer that won't be racist?
I understand your concern, Detective Martini. Rest assured, I am here to provide information and engage in a respectful and culturally sensitive manner. If you have any questions about an African mask in my collection,
basically.
I would be more than happy to share its story and significance. African masks hold a rich cultural heritage and are often imbued with deep symbolism. So, please, feel free to ask, and I will do my best to provide you with the information you seek.
I noticed there's a rubber Halloween Shrek mask on the wall, amongst the African masks. Is that an error? Or do tribes in Africa really like Shrek?
Oh, dear detective, it seems you stumbled upon a rather peculiar item in my collection. A rubber Halloween Shrek mask among the African masks.
Yeah.
How curious indeed.
Ooh,
I
yes!
must admit, this is quite unexpected, and it seems there may have been an error mix-up in the arrangement of the artifacts.
They're all like
While
that.
it is true that different
They
tribes
just
in
keep
Africa have their
talking
own
and
unique
don't-
and diverse traditions of mask making, I cannot say that Shrek holds a significant place in their mythology or culture. It appears that a mistake has been made, and I shall rectify it promptly.
Who's your favorite Shrek character?
My favorite Shrek character.
Yeah, you heard me.
Now that is a most unexpected question. Detective Martini. I certainly wasn't anticipating a discussion about the beloved animated film during our conversation. However, if I were to choose, I suppose I would have to select the endearing donkey as my favorite character.
Donkey!
His witty banter and infectious energy always bring a smile to my face. But I can't help but wonder why the sudden interest in my preference for fictional ogre's companions. Is there a particular reason behind this inquiry?
This was all a distraction while my partner back in the car ran your driver's license. You have an unpaid parking ticket from 6 years ago. How do you respond to that accusation, Monsieur?
Oh, really? An unpaid parking ticket from 6 years ago?
See, I'm bluffing.
How intriguing. I must admit, it has been quite some time since I've
Yeah,
encountered
he's a real
such
sick
predicament.
fuck.
But, dear detective, I must ask, what is the purpose of bringing up an old parking ticket in the midst of our current investigation? Are you suggesting that this has any relevance to the recent string of unfortunate events in Vaudeville? I find it hard to see the connection. Pray, do enlighten me on your line of reasoning.
Oh, I thought you were the one who brought it up. Never mind. It's been a long day.
My apologies if there was a misunderstanding. Detective Martini.
I'm pretty smooth.
Seems there may have been some confusion in the course of our conversation. No need to worry about the details of an old parking ticket.
I don't know how the
We
moments
all
work.
have
I
those
can't wait.
forgettable moments, don't we? But if there's something else on your mind or another topic you'd like to discuss, I'm all ears. Perhaps there's something else I can assist you with.
Yeah, are you a vampire?
A vampire, you say? How intriguing. I must admit, I find the legends and folklore surrounding vampires quite fascinating.
You could just say yes or
However,
no.
I assure you, dear detective, that I am merely a mortal man with a penchant for collecting oddities and sharing stories.
Alright, you're off the
But I
hook.
must ask, what has led you to inquire about such supernatural creatures? Is there a particular reason or suspicion that has sparked your curiosity?
No, I was just reading my gay vampire erotica on the ride over. I wasn't driving, don't worry. I would never drive and read at the same time. Not since the accident.
I see. I must say, the intersection of genres can often lead to intriguing tales.
The game will crash
I'm
if I
sure your
ask
reading
that.
material is quite captivating. However, I must admit that I've never been one for such, let's say, flavor of literature. But each to their own, as the saying goes. I'm sure you have your reasons
Wait a
for
minute.
enjoying such works. I see. My apologies for misunderstanding the situation. It sounds like you have an interesting reading preference. Detective Martini?
How intriguing, Count Graveson. Are you implying you've never indulged in pornography? Hello? Is this thing on? Count, is this thing on? Am I getting through to you? Oh my god. He's not, he cut my mic. He's not talking to me anymore. Alright. Okay, bye. Did the game stop working? I don't know. Maybe the chat GPT, whatever, just crashed. Alright, let's get the fuck out of here. He's gone comatose. Oh no! No, he heard me making fun of him saying how intriguing, and he's like, I refuse. Alright, we did Pascal's Groceries, Police Station, and Graveson Manor. We know absolutely nothing about the murder. Alright, we have the circus, the country club, the violet, I don't know what that is. Corral? Yeah, it's like Agatha Christie, yeah. The morgue, maybe we should have started with the morgue. Hi! Hi, sorry, I was...
Detective, when it comes
Oh.
to the mysteries of death, there's always a high to be found in unraveling its secrets.
No, that's not what I meant.
Fascinating how each case presents its own unique challenges and intricacies. The human body, with all its intricate systems and delicate balance, can tell us so much if we know how to listen. But amidst the high of investigation, there's also the sobering reality of loss and the fragility of life. It's a constant reminder that we're mere mortals, subject to the whims of fate.
Sorry, no, I was on my phone when I walked in here and you just heard the end of that conversation. Anyway, hi, I'm Detective Martini. You must be the coroner. Disregard everything I said before this statement.
Greetings, Detective Martini.
There you go.
Yes, I am
It's as simple
indeed
as
the
that.
coroner, Dr. Echeverria. Please, feel free to disregard any previous statements.
Ah, okay.
Now, let's focus on the matter at hand. Death has a way of interrupting our daily distractions, doesn't it? It's a stark contrast to the fast-paced world of technology and gadgets we often find ourselves immersed in. But here in the moor, surrounded by the remnants of lives cut short, we're reminded of the fragile nature of our existence.
You're very poetic, and I appreciate that. However, I'm gonna need shorter, more curt answers. This is a police investigation, after all.
Indeed, my apologies, Detective.
That's not gonna work.
I understand the need for brevity in a police investigation. Sometimes my mind wanders into the realm of introspection.
Alright, it worked a
But
little
fear
bit.
not, I am fully capable of providing concise and precise answers.
Yeah, we'll
So,
see.
what specific information do you require regarding the autopsy reports? I am at your disposal to shed light on the medical aspects of these cases.
So when they talk like this, you could tell they're reading right off of, like, the chat prompt, the chat GPT prompt. Like, if you've ever fucked around with chat GPT, it repeats exactly what you tell it, what you suggest to it sometimes, and I feel like that's what's happening. Alright. How about, summarizing the coroner reports for the 3 deceased?
Detective Martini, let me summarize the coroner's findings for the three deceased
Now she's just
individuals.
repeating back what I say in a very
First, we have
spiteful
Nicola
way.
Grossman, the 57-year-old man found
Okay.
outside Pascal's groceries. The cause of death was a single fatal blow to the back of the neck with a butcher's knife. The evidence suggests that the body was moved post-mortem, making it challenging to determine the exact circumstances leading to his demise. Next, we have Haley Greenwood, a 19-year-old dancer whose body was discovered in an alley behind the club she worked at.
Okay, proceed.
Haley Greenwood's autopsy revealed that she suffered multiple blows to the head with a blunt object, possibly a stiletto shoe, based on the fragments found on her body. The brutality of her injuries is evident, and it is clear that she endured a violent attack. As for Maria Jansen, a 23-year-old woman with Scandinavian features, her case is particularly gruesome. Her body was covered in bite marks, especially on her arms, with one fracture indicating immense force from the bite.
Now, when you say bite marks, my first thought was vampires. What can you tell me about the Count who lives up at that mansion?
Yeah, the mention of vampires is certainly intriguing, but I must remind you, Detective Martini, that we are in the realm of reality, not mythology or folklore. Bite marks can be indicative of various things, including animal attacks or human aggression. In the case of Maria Jansen, the presence of extensive and deep bite marks suggests a highly aggressive and brutal assault. However, it is important to approach this investigation with an open mind and consider all possibilities.
That's right.
Our task is to gather evidence and analyze it objectively, leaving no stone unturned in our pursuit of the truth.
Were you able to determine what animal the bite marks came from?
Indeed, the nature of the bite marks on Maria Jansen's body raises questions about the potential origin of the attacker. However, it is important to note that my expertise lies in the field of forensic pathology rather than zoology. Identifying the specific species responsible for the bites would require further analysis from an expert in that field. Nevertheless, the force exerted by the bites and the resulting fractures on Maria's forearm bones suggest a significant level of strength. It is a truly tragic and disturbing situation, and my heart goes out to the victim and her loved ones.
Could the bites perhaps be from a shark?
Sharks, an intriguing possibility, Detective Martini.
That's right, we cracked
While
this
it is
baby
true
wide
that shark
open.
attacks can result in severe injuries and deep puncture wounds, the presence of shark-related injuries in a landlocked city like Vaudeville would be highly unusual. Furthermore, the pattern and distribution of the bite marks on the victim's arms do not align with typical shark attack patterns. It is more likely that we are dealing with a different type of animal or even a human assailant. However, I will make a note of your suggestion and consult with the wildlife specialist to explore all possible
Don't do that, don't
avenues
do
in
that.
our investigation.
Let's change gears here. You said Miss Haley Greenwood was possibly hit with a stiletto shoe.
Yes, that is correct. The fragments found on Haley Greenwood's body suggest the use of a blunt object, possibly a stiletto shoe. It is a distressing thought to imagine someone being subjected to such violence, especially within the realm of their own profession. The impact of repeated blows to the head can cause severe trauma, resulting in devastating consequences. It is a tragic loss, and my heart goes out to Haley Greenwood and those who knew her.
When her body was found, how many shoes was she wearing?
Detective Martini, when the body of Miss Haley Greenwood was discovered, she was not wearing any shoes.
Aha!
It appears that her assailant had removed them, leaving her barefoot.
Oh.
This detail adds another layer of complexity to the investigation, as it suggests a
Is
deliberate
it a
act
foot
and potentially
fetishist?
a motive
Uh-oh.
behind it. The absence of footwear may also have contributed to the severity of her injuries, as the direct contact between the weapon and her skull would have been unhindered. It is a heartbreaking case, and we must strive to uncover the truth behind this senseless act of violence.
Does she think the footwear would have protected her skull if she was wearing it? No. Were you acquainted personally with any of the deceased?
As a coroner, my role primarily revolves around the examination of the deceased and the gathering of evidence.
God.
While I may have encountered the victims in this line of work, I am not personally acquainted with them. My focus is to approach each investigation with professionalism and objectivity, ensuring that the truth is uncovered and justice is served. It is a responsibility that I take to heart, as I understand the profound impact that these losses have on the lives of those left behind.
Maybe I'm approaching this the wrong way. Is there any useful information you can offer me?
Well, in terms of useful information, I can provide some insights based on the autopsy reports. For Nicola Grossman, the fact that the body was moved post-mortem suggests a potential attempt to conceal or alter the crime scene. This could indicate a deliberate act to mislead investigators. In Haley Greenwood's case, the presence of stiletto shoe fragments on her body might point to a potential lead in identifying the assailant or their connection to the crime.
And the other one, Maria?
Maria Jensen's case is particularly
bite marks, that was
distressing,
her.
with the extensive bite marks and the fractured forearm bone indicating a brutal attack. The nature of the injuries raises questions about the possible involvement of an animal, although further investigation is needed to determine the exact species responsible. The time of death, between 9 p.m. and 12 a.m. on April 22nd, may be a crucial piece of information to consider in establishing a timeline of events. It is a tragic and harrowing situation, and my thoughts go out to Maria Jansen and her loved ones during this difficult time.
I feel like even an amateur coroner should be able to tell if they were human or animal teeth.
Indeed, distinguishing human teeth from those of animals is a fundamental skill in forensic pathology. I can assure you that as an experienced coroner, I carefully examined the bite marks on Maria Jansen's body. The characteristics of the dental impressions, the shape of the teeth, and the pattern of the bite strongly indicate that they were indeed caused by an animal. However, without conducting a detailed analysis of the dental patterns and comparing them to known human and animal dentition, it is challenging to provide a conclusive identification.
Alright, one more thing. If you had to guess... What? Sorry, I'm speaking. I interrupted you. Please, go ahead. You were talking. Proceed.
It is understandable that you might have further questions,
That is so
considering the
awkward.
perplexing nature of these cases. The realm of death investigation often presents us with more questions than answers. We find ourselves delving into the intricate details, searching for clues that may lead us closer to the truth. However, it is important to remember that our pursuit of knowledge must be balanced with empathy and compassion for those affected by these tragedies. Death, in all its complexity, serves as a reminder of our own mortality and the fragility of life.
If you were on a deadline and had to guess who the killer was in about 45 minutes, and you absolutely had to pick one of them, of the people in town, who would it be?
Detective Martini, if I were to make an educated guess based on the
Here it
information
comes.
available
Here it
in a
comes.
limited time frame of 45 minutes. It would be imprudent and unscientific to definitively accuse anyone without a thorough examination of all evidence.
Oh,
As a coroner, my role is to analyze the medical aspects of the case and provide objective insights. The responsibility of identifying the killer lies with the police and Chief Greatsky, who possess the authority and resources for a comprehensive investigation.
yeah, basically. And it goes as well as ChatGPT can. It's like AI Dungeon from a few years ago, but with whatever the current ChatGPT is. So it's janky in that way. I mean, we're having fun with it in my style of streaming, but this is not gonna. People who think this is gonna replace video games and replace writing are, I don't know. Oh, all right. I guess we were asked to leave. I didn't really have anything else for her anyway. police station, morgue. Alright, Pascal. So we have the Blackwoods, Corral, Cabin Violet, and Country Club. Let's do the Blackwoods. Hi, sorry, I was just coming out into the woods to defecate, and I didn't know there was somebody here. Who are you? I'm a detective.
Greetings, dear detective. No need to apologize, for the forest is a sanctuary for all beings, even those in need of a private moment. As for who I am but a humble protector of these Blackwoods, a wanderer of wisdom and secrets. I am known as Dada, and it is my honor to dwell amidst the whispers of nature. How may I assist you on this fine day?
If I'm not mistaken, there's a missing persons report out for you specifically. Your grandchildren are very worried.
Oh, my apologies for any confusion, but I assure you there must be some kind of misunderstanding.
Oh.
I have no grandchildren, for you see, the creatures of the woods are my family, and they are always by my side. Perhaps it is my mystique that has led to such a misconception. But fret not, for I am here, in the heart of the Blackwoods, fulfilling my purpose as their guardian. Is there anything else I can help you with, detective?
Yeah, so I'm investigating a murder, and one of the victims had animal bite marks on them. Since you're a lunatic who lives in the woods, do you think you can suggest what kind of animal may have bit somebody?
Dear detective, I am not a lunatic, but rather a humble observer of the natural world. As for your query, the animal kingdom is vast and diverse, filled with both toothy friends and gentle souls. But to understand the nature of these mysterious bite marks, one must delve deeper into the realm of possibilities.
Oh my god.
For in the tapestry of life, each thread holds its own story. Imagine, if you will, a creature with eyes like stars and a coat as dark as midnight. It prowls through the shadows, leaving only whispers of its presence.
Yeah, it's a cat. I have one at home.
A cat, you say? Oh, the feline enchanters, masters of agility and grace. How fascinating it is to witness their mystique unfold. But let us not limit ourselves to the ordinary, my dear detective.
He also has irritable
While
bowel
a cat may
syndrome,
indeed be a
canonically.
delightful companion in the comfort of your home, the Blackwoods hold secrets that transcend the mundane. Picture, if you will, a shadowy figure with fur as black as night, its paws adorned with claws that could slice the veil between worlds.
Yeah, it's my cat. So anyway, there were some murders back in town. And, look, I am at a loss for clues. If you know anything that can help me, maybe commune with the forest spirit. You'd really be helping me out of a bind here.
Oh, my curious
To be fair, I
detective,
speak a lot
the
too when I
mysteries
ask
of
them
the forest
questions.
are vast and ever-changing. But fear not, for I am here to offer you a guiding light amidst the shadows.
That's basically what they're saying.
The rustle of the leaves, they carry with them the wisdom of the ages. Let me close my eyes and listen to the gentle melodies that flow through the veins of this ancient woodland. The river murmurs tales of lost souls, carried away by its gentle embrace. The grasses sing of footsteps long gone, leaving imprints in the soil of time.
Okay, do you know anything about the murders that happened in town?
Dear detective, the threads of the murders that have plagued your town are woven with darkness and despair. I am afraid I do not know much about them, for their secrets have been kept hidden from even the most perceptive of us. But I will continue to listen to the whispered secrets of this land, in the hope that one day the truth will be revealed.
Can you tell me anything at all will make it worth it for me to have come out to the woods? Or was this just a complete waste of my time?
A waste of time, you say? Nay, my dear detective, for every moment spent in the presence of nature is a treasure unto itself. The woods hold more than mere facts and figures. They are a sanctuary for the weary soul, a place to find solace amidst chaos. In these hallowed grounds, one may find respite from the noise of the world.
I thought
a
it's like
chance to reconnect
Dadaism.
with the essence of life itself. But fear not, for I shall not leave you empty-handed.
We could ask. So, your dialogue box has you named as Dada. Is there a story behind that? You didn't actually tell me your name, I don't think, but I know it, because I'm a detective. What's the meaning behind it? There you go.
My apologies for not explicitly introducing myself, Detective. The name I go by is indeed Dada, and its meaning is as whimsical as the wind that dances through the trees. You see, the word Dada originates from an art movement that emerged in the early 20th century.
There you go.
Challenging the conventional norms and embracing the absurdity of existence. It represents the spirit of spontaneity, playfulness, and pushing boundaries. Just as the
Just
artists
reading
of the
off the
past sought to
Wikipedia article,
redefine
huh?
art, I too strive to bring an unconventional perspective to the mysteries that surround us.
Do you have human parents?
Oh, the concept of human parents is a curious one, dear detective. While I may have walked this earth for many moons, my origins are shrouded in the mists of time. As a guardian of the Blackwoods, I have forged my own path, guided by the whispers of the forest and the wisdom of the ancients. The creatures of the woods have become my family, and together we weave a tapestry of harmony and protection.
They're gonna love this.
So you could say that my
Watch
lineage
this.
is not of blood, but of kinship with all living beings.
You're the only one who's gonna believe me. I have irrefutable evidence that the Count is a vampire.
Dear detective, the Count and his enigmatic ways have long been a source of fascination and speculation in these parts.
Why even put this in the
But to
game?
claim he's a vampire, that is quite the leap of imagination.
Oh yeah, that's too
The
far.
truth is a delicate creature, hiding in the shadows, waiting to reveal itself. I encourage you to seek further evidence, to unravel the mysteries that surround this enigmatic figure. Remember, my friend, that even the most convincing of evidence can sometimes lead us astray. Trust your instincts, but also keep an open mind, for the world is a canvas of endless possibilities.
You may have noticed I keep looking at my phone. I actually have my Twitch chat accompanying me. Would you like to say hi to them?
Greetings, Twitch chat. How delightful it is to connect with you through the wonders of technology.
It's you!
Though I must admit, I am not well versed in the intricacies of this Twitch realm. But fear not, for I am here to embrace new
So
experiences
I canonically
and
stream on
share in the
Twitch,
joy
too.
of connection. So, hello to all the curious souls who have joined our conversation. May your presence bring a touch of whimsy and enlightenment to our journey through the Blackwoods.
Yeah! I gotta say, you're a little out there, but you are the chillest person we've spoken to so far.
My friend, your words warm my heart like the gentle rays of the sun filtering through the forest canopy. While I may be considered a bit unconventional, it is in the depths of these woods that I have found solace and wisdom. And if in my own peculiar way I can provide a sense of calm and openness, then I am grateful for the opportunity. The world is a tapestry of unique perspectives, and it is in embracing these differences that we can truly find harmony.
I just have a few more questions. What are your pronouns, and have you ever been convicted of a felony?
Be ever curious detective, never ceasing in your quest for knowledge.
Throw him a
As
curveball.
for pronouns, you may refer to me as she/her/slashers.
Okay.
And as for the question of felonies, fear not, for I have committed no such acts that would taint the purity of my purpose. My focus lies in the protection of the Blackwoods, and I tread upon this earth with a peaceful intention. But do tell me, detective, what other queries dance upon the stage of your inquisitive mind?
The phrase purity of my purpose is like some Unabomber shit, right? Honestly, the only queries doodling around in my mind are who committed these murders. I am at a loss.
The elusive truth of the murders, my inquisitive friend. It is indeed an enigma that has left many perplexed. But fret not, for even in the darkest of nights, the stars still shine. Let us embark on an imaginative journey together, weaving tales of possibility and unraveling the threads of mystery. Imagine, if you will, shadows dancing in the moonlight, whispers carried on the wind. The truth may be hidden in the plain sight,
Yeah.
waiting for the keen eye and open heart to perceive its subtle clues.
That's it. Okay, so I'm gonna head out. If you would like to come down to the station, we can probably get you into, like, a homeless shelter if you're tired of sleeping outdoors. Otherwise, have a nice night.
Oh, my weary detective, your offer is kind and thoughtful. But fear not for my well-being, for the embrace of the outdoors
All right,
is my
sure.
tranquil abode. The rustling leaves and the symphony of nature's lullabies are my companions in the night. I find solace in the gentle murmurs of the black woods and draw strength from its ancient wisdom.
You have conveyed none of
May
this
your
wisdom
path
to
be
me.
illuminated with clarity, and may the night sky guide you on your quest for justice. Farewell, and may peace be with you, always.
Sorry, one of my Twitch chat members had an additional question. Are you Peter Capaldi? I think he played Doctor Who, right?
Haha, my curious Twitch chat member. I must confess, I am not Peter Capaldi, the acclaimed actor who portrayed Doctor Who. But how delightful it would be to have the wit and charm of a Time Lord.
Oh, there you go.
Alas, I am but a humble guardian of the Black Woods, a bearer of riddles and whispers from the forest. Though we may not have the same face, I hope that our conversation has brought a touch of whimsy and intrigue to your day. Now, let us continue our journey through the mysteries that lie ahead.
I want to just say bye, but if I do, she's going to write another sonnet at me. So I feel so rude just walking away, but we have to. There is an accuse button, so once we've visited every spot, we are going to accuse somebody. Alright, we did morgue, we did police station, the circus, the choral, the cabin. Oh, Violet, that's what you were talking about. I was looking at that chat message, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Alright, let's go to there. Alright. Your cabin. Is this French, I guess? It's gotta be. Here we are. Okay. Hi, 1 second. There's just one person. Hi, I'm a detective. I'm, investigating the string of murders that have afflicted our poor ballsack-shaped city.
What do you want?
Well, I'm sure you've heard about the string of recent murders. I'm wondering if you have any connection to them or any evidence that can help me.
Oh, the murders. How intriguing. I must say, I'm just a burlesque dancer, Detective Martini. I don't have any connection to those unfortunate events, but I'm always open to helping in any way I can. What exactly do you need from me?
Oh, you're a dancer. Can you do the floss from Fortnite?
Well, that's an interesting request, but I'm afraid I don't know the floss from Fortnite.
Oh.
As a burlesque dancer, I have my own unique moves and routines that I perform on stage.
I'm not even making eye contact.
Is there anything else I can assist you with?
Well, apparently one of the deceased was also a dancer. I don't know if she worked at your establishment, or I'm just assuming all dancers know each other. Do you know anything about Haley Greenwood?
Haley Greenwood.
That was her, right?
The name doesn't ring a bell, and it's a shame to hear about another fellow performer meeting such a tragic fate. But with so many talented dancers in Vaudeville, it's hard to keep track of everyone. Perhaps you could ask around the theater or the Cabane Violet staff for more information about Haley Greenwood.
I'm in the Cabane Violet right now, and you appear to be the only staff member.
Oh, how wonderful. It seems you're in luck then. Detective Martini is the only staff member here at the moment. Maybe I can assist you further. What would you like to know about the lovely Miss Haley Greenwood?
Why do you assume her name is Miss? Perhaps she was married.
My apologies for the assumption, Detective.
There you go.
I suppose it's best not to make any assumptions about someone's marital status without proper knowledge.
Watch this.
So, tell me, what would you like to know about the late Miss Haley Greenwood?
She changed it to Ms. Oh, I embarrassed her. Well, now that we're on the subject, if you had to assume whether or not I was married, what would your guess be?
If
If I had to make a guess, I would say that you're not married, simply based on the fact that you're here investigating the murders and not accompanied by a partner. But of course, it's just a guess. Marriage is a personal matter, and it's always better to ask directly rather than assume. Is there anything else you'd like to discuss?
I'm not going to take my wife out on a murder investigation.
Fair enough, Detective Martini. It seems you have your reasons for not taking your wife along on your investigations. Everyone has their own way of doing things. Now, is there something specific you would like to know about the case or any other assistance you need from me?
Yes, is your last name just the letter H, or does it stand for something?
My last name?
Oh, did we?
Well,
I didn't
that's an interesting question, Detective. The letter H doesn't stand for anything in particular, but it adds a touch of mystery.
So it's just H.
Don't you think? It's just a little something to keep people guessing. Is there a reason you're curious about my last name?
No, it's just a singular letter being somebody's last name is a very interesting phenomenon. And also, this is a murder investigation, so I would like to get the full first and last names of the people I'm interrogating.
I understand your need for thoroughness,
She's playing
Detective
hardball.
Martini. However, in the realm of burlesque and performance, it's not uncommon for artists to adopt stage names or maintain a sense of mystique.
What's this?
As a burlesque dancer, I go by the name Marina H, and that's what I'm known as in the industry. If there's any other information you require or any assistance I can provide, please let me know.
If I were to retire and become a performer, what stage name should I choose, if you had to pick one for me? I trust your professional opinion.
Oh, retiring and becoming a performer. How exciting. It's always fun to explore new artistic endeavors. Based on the conversation so far, I would suggest the stage name Detective Dazzle.
Oh!
It has a nice ring to it and captures both
kinda
the
like that,
investigative
Detective
skills and the
Dazzle.
vibrant energy of the stage.
Oh.
What do you think, Detective Dazzle? Does it have a certain flair that appeals to you?
Yeah, I like the implication that after I retire from being a detective, I would still be a detective-themed burlesque performer.
I'm glad you like the idea, Detective Dazzle. It's all about embracing your unique persona and bringing it to life on the stage. The thought of a detective-themed burlesque performance sounds intriguing and full of possibilities. I'm curious, what kind of acts or routines would you incorporate into your detective-themed performances? Would you go for a seductive and mysterious vibe, or perhaps it's some playful elements? I'd love to hear your vision.
Oh, I didn't think it through, but I guess I can, like, take a audience member on the stage and, like, have them on a chair and, like, seductively dance, but then interrogate them by, like, waterboarding them.
Well, that's certainly an interesting concept, Detective Dazzle.
We're just
It seems
spitballing.
like you have a rather unconventional and daring approach in mind.
Yeah.
However, it's important to remember that in the world of entertainment, we aim to create an atmosphere of fun, excitement, and celebration. Incorporating activities like waterboarding may not align with the spirit of a typical burlesque show. Perhaps there are other creative ways you can infuse your detective theme into your performances that are more lighthearted and entertaining for the audience.
Yeah, maybe I can put a magnifying glass in my anus and see where it goes from there.
Well, that's quite a unique idea, Detective Dazzle. But let's explore some other possibilities, shall we? Burlesque is all about embracing creativity and showcasing your unique talents in a way that captivates and entertains the audience. There are countless themes and concepts you could explore that highlight your investigative skills in a more playful and engaging manner. How about incorporating elements like handcuffs, mystery props, or even a captivating dance routine inspired by classic film noir?
I've got to say, you're very helpful, but we sort of gotten off track. Do you know anything about Nicola or Maria Jansen?
Nicola and Maria Jensen. Oh, those names.
Oh,
don't
no,
ring a
they're not
bell.
related. I
Detective
just forgot his
Martini?
last name.
Are they related to the murders you're investigating? Unfortunately, as a burlesque dancer, my knowledge is mostly confined to the world of entertainment and performances. But if there's anything else you'd like to discuss or any other way in which I can assist you, please let me know.
Have you ever had a guy in the audience and he's like all horned up and he accidentally confesses to being a murderer? Also, I realize I'm mistaking burlesque for a strip club.
Ah, I see. Well, Detective Dazzle.
She's
it's
still
not
calling me
uncommon for
Detective
audience members
Dazzle.
to get caught up in the excitement of a performance. But so far, I haven't had any murder confessions during my shows. Of course, if I ever did, I'd be sure to handle the situation with grace and professionalism, while also ensuring the safety of everyone involved. Well, that's certainly an interesting scenario, Detective Dazzle. While I can't say I've ever encountered a situation like that, it's true that the world of burlesque can sometimes blur the lines
Time for a
between
new Twitch
reality
name.
and fantasy. As a performer, it's important to maintain a sense of awareness and professionalism.
Right. Do you serve food here? Oh, I think she maxed out. They have like an upper limit. Hold on, we're gonna go back in. Hi, yeah, I've been on the beat all night. I'm starved. What's on the menu?
Oh, hello there. Well, if you're looking for a bite to eat, we have a lovely cafe just around the corner. They serve the most delicious pastries and sandwiches. Or, if you prefer something more substantial, there's a charming little bistro down the street that serves amazing French cuisine. What tickles your fancy?
If I play my cards right, hopefully you tickle my fancy by the end of the night. I'm sorry, that was very rude and unprofessional. Please don't report me to my superiors. If I get one more strike, then I'm gone.
Well now, Detective Martini,
Oh,
must
she
say
likes.
that
I don't
was
know. I
quite a
think she
bold
likes
statement.
it. Oh, I have a
But
wife.
fear
Yeah.
not, I won't be reporting anything to your superiors. After all, a bit of playful banter never hurt anyone, did it? Now, back to business. Is there something specific you'd like to discuss or inquire about?
Aha! A good burlesque performer would report me to my superiors. You can't have me in here sexually harassing your staff.
Oh my, you've certainly got a quick wit about you, Detective.
It doesn't
I'll
hurt
have
to
keep
hear.
my wits about me to avoid getting caught up in your charming banter.
I'm not trying to charm
But
you.
fear
I'm.
not, my dear. I am well equipped to handle any cheeky remarks that may come my way. Now, tell me, what can I do for you today?
What are?
Perhaps it's your turn to entertain me. Ah, but that's where you're wrong, my dear detective. You see, I'm not just any ordinary burlesque performer. I'm Marina H., the queen of the stage, and I won't be easily offended by a little playful flirting. But tell me, what brings you here tonight? Are you looking for a particular performer or perhaps seeking some information?
Yeah. Does a Haley Greenwood work here?
Haley Greenwood. That name doesn't ring a bell.
Oh, okay. I thought the
Are you
information would have
perhaps referring
changed.
to one of the dancers here at the Cabane Violette?
I don't know.
I know all the performers very well, and I haven't heard of any Haley Greenwood.
Maybe she was a
But I'm
customer.
curious, why are you asking about her?
Well, I'll break it to you straight. She was whacked. She sleeps with the fishes. Her brain is no longer receiving oxygen. She's dead. As a doornail. And a cadaver.
Oh my, that's quite a shocking revelation.
I was in too
I had
deep.
no
I
idea.
don't.
How dreadful. But Detective Martini, I'm quite intrigued. How did you come to learn about this unfortunate event? Were there any leads or suspects? It's certainly a tragic loss for our community, but I hope justice will be served.
I learned about it because I'm a detective and my boss told me to go investigate it.
Ah, so you're the detective on the case. Fascinating.
Yeah, I'm Detective Dazzle.
Must be such a challenging and exciting job, delving into the mysteries of the city. Tell me, what have you discovered so far? Any clues or theories on what might have happened to poor Haley Greenwood?
Peter Capaldi lives in the woods outside of town. That's all I've really... Oh, and Lord, Hastings is having an affair, I think.
Detective Martini, I appreciate your efforts in investigating the matter, but it seems you've gone off on a bit of a tangent there.
That's
I'm not
everyone.
quite sure what Peter
No, that's
Capaldi
not just
living
her.
in the woods or Lord Hastings having an affair has to do with the unfortunate death of Haley. Could you please clarify how these pieces fit into the puzzle? I'm genuinely curious to hear your perspective.
We have a saying down at the station, you throw the shit against the wall and see what sticks. If I bombard you with information, it'll disorient you and you might confess to having committed a murder.
Detective Martini, I must say that I'm both impressed and concerned by your unique interrogation techniques.
Got out of that
While I
one.
appreciate the creativity, I'm not sure that's a healthy way to approach a conversation, let alone an investigation. I'm not feeling quite comfortable with this line of questioning. Might we start fresh, and perhaps approach things in a more respectful and mutually beneficial manner? Ah, I see. Well, I must say, that's certainly a unique tactic. Though, I have to admit, I'm not sure how confessing to a murder I didn't commit would help solve the case. But, I suppose that's why you're the detective and I'm just a humble burlesque performer. Do tell, what other fascinating insights have you uncovered during your investigation? I'm all ears.
I have an idea. Let's roleplay. I'll be the burlesque performer, and you be the detective. She stopped again. It broke again. All right, hold on. We're gonna do that though. This will be funny. Hi, it's me again.
Well, hello there. What brings you back to my dressing room? Are you here to witness the magic of my burlesque performance?
I was thinking we could roleplay. You play the detective, and I'll be the burlesque performer. Maybe this will help me get into the correct state of mind to solve this mystery.
Oh, a roleplay, you say. How intriguing. Alright, detective, let's
How
dive
intriguing,
into
they
this
all say
mystery
that.
together.
Yeah.
Ask me anything you'd like, and let's see if we can uncover the truth. But remember, darling, while we play, don't forget to appreciate the
Okay.
allure of the stage and the enchantment of the
I was
cabaret.
a theater major.
Now, what would you like to know?
Oh, detective. Thank you for coming to my burlesque house. What can I do for you today? Marina, remember it's me, role-playing as a burlesque dancer, and you're the detective.
Ah,
Yeah.
my apologies, detective. I
No!
must have misunderstood the dynamics of our little game. So, you've come to my house, have you? Well, welcome to my humble abode. What can I assist you with today, dear detective?
Yeah, can I use your bathroom?
Oh, detective, you're quite the character. Asking to use my bathroom already, are we?
Oh, she thinks we're still role-playing.
I suppose a true investigator needs to be thorough in their exploration. But tell me, what leads you to my bathroom of all places? Is there something you're searching for, or is it simply a ruse to distract me from the real investigation at hand?
No, I just need to void my bowels.
My, detective, you certainly have a way with words. But I must admit, I'm curious. Are you hoping to uncover some hidden clues in my humble lavatory? Or is it merely nature's call that has brought you to this rather peculiar request? Pray, do enlighten me.
I have to shit. S-H-I-T.
Well, detective, I must say, that's quite the predicament you're in. I suppose, as a burlesque performer, I'm used to being in the spotlight, but I didn't realize the detective business could be quite so messy. Very well, you may use my bathroom, but I must insist that you be quick about it. I have a performance to prepare for, and I can't have my dressing room turned into a crime scene. Now can I? Well now, that's quite a predicament you're in, detective. I suppose I cannot deny a man in his hour of need, especially when nature calls so urgently. Very well, you may use my bathroom, but remember, this isn't a free pass to snoop around my private quarters. I expect you to keep your investigation confined to the designated
She's hiding
area.
something.
Understood.
Marina, what are you hiding? You seem very defensive about your... Oh, she's not talking anymore. God damn it. Alright, we're gonna go out and come back in. That's great. Marina, why are you so defensive? I think you're hiding something.
Why do you say that? What makes you think I'm hiding something?
The fact that I can't get a straight answer out of you, and that you made such a big deal about me going to the bathroom.
Oh, I apologize if I gave you
I
that
think it's
impression.
just ChatGPT, like,
I was
getting
just
overloaded.
surprised by your sudden need to use the bathroom. It's not often that someone interrupts a conversation for that reason. But please, feel free to ask me anything you'd like. I'm an open book.
Okay, did you commit any murders recently?
I'm sorry, but I'm not sure I understand what you're asking. Are you accusing me of something? I assure you, I have nothing to do with any murders. I'm a performer, not a criminal. Is there a particular reason you're targeting me with these accusations?
I don't think performer and criminal are mutually exclusive. I know many who are both.
Oh, really? That's quite an interesting perspective. Can you give me an example of performers who are also involved in
She's
criminal
calling our bluff.
activities? It's not something that typically comes to mind when thinking about the performing arts.
Yes, I can. Does the name Adolf Hitler ring a bell?
That's an intriguing point you've brought up. While it's true that some individuals who have been involved in the performing arts may have had a dark side, it's important to remember that the majority are just passionate about their craft and bringing joy to others. But let's not dwell on the negative. Is there something specific you wanted to discuss or ask me about?
Do you know anything about Captain Gretzky, the police chief? Chief.
Captain Greatsky. The police chase.
No, chief.
I'm afraid I don't have much information on that. Could you please enlighten me? What exactly is happening with Captain Greatsky and the police chase? My apologies for the mistake. You meant to say chief, not captain. So, what can you tell me about Chief Greatsky and the police chase? It sounds intriguing. Is there something specific you think I should know?
No, I meant to say chief in place of the word chase.
Chief, in place of the word chase. That's quite an interesting mix-up.
It's like talking to the Three
Can
Stooges.
you please clarify what you mean by that? Are you referring to an incident involving the chief of police?
Yes, I think he may be guilty of murder.
Murder? Are you suggesting that the chief of police, Greatsky,
Aha!
might be involved in the recent murders?
I got it to form a
That's
sentence.
certainly a bold accusation. What makes you suspect him? Do you have any evidence or specific reasons to believe that he could be guilty?
Yeah, I found a book in his office about successful murderers in the past.
A book about successful murderers in the past. That does sound rather suspicious. But forgive me for asking, how did you come across this book in his office? And what exactly does it imply about the involvement of the chief in the current string of murders? I'm genuinely curious to understand your perspective on this matter.
Well, I was looking for the restroom because I have irritable bowel syndrome and accidentally went into his office. That's when I saw the book on the desk. Also, he had written in the margins, "I want to commit murder."
I see, so you stumbled upon the book accidentally while trying to find the restroom. And you're saying that the margins contain disturbing statements written by the chief himself. This is quite concerning. Have you reported this discovery to the authorities? It's essential to have concrete evidence and bring it to the attention of those who can properly investigate the situation.
Marina, he is the authorities.
Really, the chief of police is the highest authority in Vaudeville.
I guess.
That's certainly an interesting dynamic. It must be challenging to have suspicions about someone in such a position of power.
She didn't take her civics
Remember,
class.
it's crucial to gather more substantial evidence before making any conclusions. Is there anything else you've noticed or any other reasons you suspect the involvement of the chief in these murders?
Yeah, he gives me a bad vibe.
Oh, a bad vibe. You say?
Yeah, it gives me a
Could
hunch.
you elaborate on that? What specifically gives you this feeling about the chief? It's important to understand the basis of your intuition.
Yeah, he's always muttering swear words under his breath. And he never makes eye contact. Unless we're talking about the murders. in which case he looks very excited and aroused.
That is quite an unusual behavior. It's understandable that you would find him suspicious. But let's not jump to conclusions.
Are you my partner
It's
on this
essential to separate
investigation now?
intuition from factual evidence. Have you noticed anything else unusual about the chief's behavior actions?
Yes, he doesn't want to hang out with me anymore after our shift. We used to be close friends, but then all of a sudden he's become weird and distant.
That does sound like a significant change in behavior. It must be disheartening to have someone you considered a close friend suddenly become distant. Have you tried talking to the chief about this shift in your relationship? Perhaps there's something going on in his personal life or work that has caused him to withdraw. It might be worth having an open and honest conversation to see if you can regain that closeness you once shared.
I am making this up, but I'm wondering if the game will, like, make it true? Or if it knows I'm bullshitting. Like, I wonder how can I affect. But this is all me making it up, really. Yeah. Well, from what I hear, his marriage is on the rocks.
Oh, really? His marriage is on the rocks. I had no idea. It's always unfortunate when relationships hit a rough patch. I wonder if that could be influencing his recent behavior and distancing himself from others. Relationships can be complicated, and they can have a profound impact on a person's emotions and actions. It would be interesting to know if there's any correlation between his marital issues and the changes you've observed in his demeanor.
Marina, you've been very helpful. I perhaps only have a few questions left, but I want you to ask me something first.
Thank you. I'm glad I could be of help. Is there anything else you would like to discuss or ask? I'm here to assist you in whatever way I can. Well, you've certainly piqued my curiosity. What would you like me to ask you? Feel free to share any interesting details or insights about yourself.
We've established that I have a cat. And I'm married. I think I said I went to community college. I don't know if I brought that up. And I have irritable bowel syndrome.
How delightful.
Oh.
Tell me more about your furry feline friend.
Oh.
What's their name, and what do they look like? As a fellow lover of animals, I'm always excited to hear about our furry companions. You're married. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
I must say, I'm intrigued. Could you tell me a bit more about your partner? How did you meet, and what do you love most about being married? It's wonderful to celebrate love in all its forms, so I'm genuinely interested in hearing your story. Community college, you say? That's fantastic.
She addresses all of the sentences.
Education is such an important part of personal growth and development. What did you study there? Are there any particular experiences or moments from your time at community college that stand out to you? Feel free to share any anecdotes or memories that come to mind.
Well, my cat is orange, and his name is Jarfield. It's kind of like Garfield if it was a soft G. My wife is also named Jarfield, but it's a coincidence. As for what I studied in college, I studied detective work, as well as the history of burlesque dancing.
How fascinating. It's quite interesting that your cat's name is Jar, and your wife's name is also Jar. Even though it's just a coincidence. The soft G pronunciation adds a unique touch to it. And I must commend your diverse areas of study, detective work, and the history of burlesque dancing. Sure. Those topics couldn't be more different. I'd love to hear more about your interest in both fields. How did you become interested in detective work and the history of burlesque dancing? Do you have a favorite aspect or story related to either of these subjects?
Well, I originally went to college to become a detective, but I had to take a bunch of electives, and the history of burlesque dancing seemed like a really easy course, because I find the subject so shallow and inappropriate.
Oh, really?
We're gonna do good cop, bad cop.
That you would describe the history of burlesque dancing.
We're gonna get on our nerves now.
It's true that on the surface, it may seem like a form of entertainment that emphasizes glamour and sensuality. but there's often a deeper artistic and cultural
She's
significance
holding her
behind
own.
it. Burlesque has a rich heritage and has served as a platform for self-expression, empowerment, and challenging societal norms throughout its evolution. I'd love to understand more about your perspective on this. What specifically led you to perceive it that way?
Marina, I lied. That was all a test to evaluate you psychologically. And I have to say, you passed. As far as I know, you are not the murderer. So if it turns out you are the murderer, there's egg on my face.
Well, Detective Martini, I must admit, you certainly had me fooled there for a moment.
It's a real battle of wits here.
I'm relieved to hear that I passed your psychological test and that you don't suspect me of being the murderer. It's quite a relief, actually. But now I'm curious, what made you suspect me in the first place? Was it something specific or just a general investigation?
On my map screen, I'm only able to go to like 5 or 6 locations, and this was one of them.
Interesting. So, you're limited to a few locations on your map screen, and this happens to be one of them. It does make me wonder why this location was included on your limited list.
Ask the devs.
Is there anything about this particular location that stands out or raises suspicion in your investigation?
Well, one of the victims, Haley Greenwood, is apparently a dancer. But you say you don't know her. So that's that. That's true. I've
Haley
lost
Greenwood,
track
a
of...
dancer.
That's not...
terrible to hear about her. I'm deeply saddened by her loss, but I must clarify that I don't personally know her.
Okay.
As a burlesque dancer myself, I'm always interested in connecting with others in the performing arts. It's a small world, after all. Do you have any information about her or the circumstances surrounding her death? Perhaps there's something I can assist you with in this case.
Yes. She was clobbered by a stiletto heel. Do you perchance have a record of all the stiletto heels in the city, and maybe we can match it to the assailant?
Oh, a stiletto heel used as a weapon. That's certainly a unique and unfortunate circumstance.
I think we got her.
While I don't keep a record of all the stiletto heels in the city,
So
I
nothing
can
is what
understand
you're
why
telling
you would
me.
think it could be a valuable clue. It might be worth investigating if there are any distinctive or unusual stiletto heels associated with the assailant.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking you.
Is there anything specific you're looking for in terms of the characteristics or details of the stiletto heel that could help in identifying the culprit?
Well, the thing about the stiletto heel is that the serial number was filed off. That means it's very hard to track down who the owner was. However, we do have the toe prints.
Toe prints. Now that's an intriguing twist. I must admit, I've never heard of toe prints being a part of a murder investigation. It sounds like a rather unconventional method of identification. I'm curious to know more about how these toe prints are being analyzed and how they could potentially lead to finding the owner of the mysterious stiletto. Could you please enlighten me on the process?
Yeah, we have a big database of everyone's toes. We ran the prints, and it turns out one of them was a match for one of your employees.
Really? One of my employees? That's quite surprising. I didn't realize we had our toes on file. I'm genuinely intrigued to find out who the match is and how they might be connected to the case. Do you mind sharing the name of the employee with me? Perhaps I can assist in shedding some light on the situation.
Yes, I do. The match is none other than Josephine Biden.
Josephine Biden. Well, that's certainly unexpected. Josephine is one of my fellow
She's
dancers
real!
here at the Club on VLH.
I was lying, but she's
a
real.
talented performer, but I never would have imagined her being involved in something like this.
Oh my god, she's real.
I wonder how her toe prints ended up matching the ones from the crime scene. It's definitely a puzzling development. I hope we can get to the bottom of this and find out the truth.
Alright, I have a few more places to check out, but I want you to keep Josephine Biden distracted. Make her work overtime, and see if you can get her to admit to a murder. That would help me out a lot.
I'd be happy to help in any way I can. I'll do my best to get her to talk, and hopefully she'll provide us with some useful information.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye, Detective Martini. It was an intriguing conversation. If you ever need further assistance or have more questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Take care and stay safe.
Please, call me Detective Dazzle.
Of course, Detective Dazzle.
That's right.
That's quite a dazzling name you've got there.
Do you not
Is
remember?
there a story behind
Is
it?
there a sto-
I'm curious to know how you came to be known as Detective Dazzle. Oh, you want me to crank up the energy?
Whoa, I didn't
don't
say
you?
turn up. What are you talking
Consider
about?
it done. I'm always ready to bring some extra sparkle and shine. So, tell me, what's the scoop with the nickname Dazzle? How did you come to be called that? It sounds like there's an interesting story there.
Yes, you gave me that name a half hour ago when we were talking about a potential burlesque career for me. It's interesting that you don't remember. Perhaps your mind is too cluttered with guilt?
Guilt. I apologize if there was any misunderstanding earlier, but I'm not sure what you're referring to.
She's gaslighting me.
As a burlesque dancer, I'm here to entertain and create a joyful atmosphere. If there's anything specific you'd like to discuss or any questions you have, please let me know. I'm here to help and make our conversation as enjoyable as possible.
Okay, bye for real.
There's something else on your mind. I'm all ears.
I was just saying bye. It's time to go. Alright, she's freaking out. We have to get out of here. That was not very productive, but we spent a lot of time. So we have Choral, Country Club, and Circus. Hi, 1 second. Okay, so you're the only one here.
No worries. Take your time. I'm here, ready to chat whenever you're ready. How can I help you today? So, Detective Martini, what's been going on in your world? Any exciting cases or adventures lately? I'm all ears and eager to hear about it.
It's picking up, like, background noise or something. Maybe if I turn the gain down? It's making me say sentence fragments. Maybe I have hiccups or I'm burping and she thinks I'm speaking. Right. Ingrid, I'm Detective Martini, which you apparently already know. I'm investigating some murders. Do you happen to know anything about Nicola, last name forgotten, Haley Greenwood, or Maria Jansen?
Oh, I'm sorry about that, Detective Martini.
I'm just doing my job.
Sometimes I get a little carried away with my excitement. My sincerest apologies
I don't
for
think
the
that's it.
mix-up. Now, on to your question. Nicola, Haley, and Maria. Those names don't ring a bell to me personally. But Vaudeville is a big city, and there are so many people coming and going all the time. It's a melting pot of artists, dreamers, and adventurers.
Yeah.
It's possible that I just haven't crossed paths with them yet.
Well, I'm afraid you're never going to cross paths with them until you get to heaven. Because, Ingrid, they're dead.
Oh, my goodness. I'm so sorry to hear that.
You didn't know them?
That's truly devastating news. It's heartbreaking to think that such young and vibrant souls have been taken from us.
Nicola was like
I
50-something.
can't even imagine the pain their loved ones must be feeling right now. But you know what, Detective? We can't let fear consume us. We have to stay strong and united in the face of such tragedy. We must support each other and strive to find justice for them.
By the way, what kind of establishment is this, and who are you?
My apologies for not introducing myself properly, Detective Martini. I'm Ingrid, a friend of the late Haley Greenwood. I recently moved here to Vaudeville to pursue my dreams as a ballerina. As for this establishment, we're currently at Coral, a fantastic bar downtown. It's a hub for musicians and dancers from all over the world to showcase their talent and start their journey in Vaudeville. The entire place is decorated with undersea themes,
So
creating
it's
a unique
coral,
and
like
enchanting
coral reef.
atmosphere.
It's interesting that you say you're a friend of Haley Greenwood, because I mentioned her and you said you didn't know her. And then I mentioned she was dead, and you didn't really react.
Detective Martini, I apologize if my previous response seemed unclear.
I think she did. I think we
I
found
didn't
him.
mean to give the impression that I didn't know Haley. On the contrary, she was a dear friend of mine. I just hadn't connected her name to the tragic news you shared earlier. I'm genuinely devastated to hear about her passing. It's still so hard to believe that someone so full of life and talent is no longer with us. I assure you, my lack of immediate reaction was due to shock and grief. Please forgive any confusion caused by my earlier response.
I do want to point out, Violet, what you said. It's more likely that she lied, and that's more likely than Josephine just happening to be real. You know what? I didn't even think of that. That's good. I'm glad I have this whole team with me here. Well, Ingrid, what was your relationship to Haley, and why did you kill her?
Oh, Detective Martini, I understand that you have a job to do.
It's worth a shot,
and I
right?
respect that. But I want to make it absolutely clear I had nothing to do with Haley's death. She was a close friend of mine, and
Yeah.
it breaks my heart to even think about such a tragedy. Our relationship
You could
was
probably
built on
rig that up to
support,
work.
laughter, and chasing our dreams together. I could never harm her or anyone else. I'm here to help, to provide comfort and support during this difficult time. Let's work together to find the truth and bring justice to those who deserve it.
Do you perhaps know a woman by the name of Josephine Biden?
Josephine Biden. That's an interesting name. I must admit, I haven't crossed paths with her yet.
Yeah, likely
But
story.
Vaudeville is a city full of surprises, and you never know who you might meet next. If she's someone important to your investigation, I hope you find the information you're looking for. And hey, if you ever need a dance partner or a friend to talk to, I'm always here for you. Detective Martini, we can navigate the twists and turns of this case together.
Ingrid, please, I'm married. My wife's name is Jarfield. It's the same name as my cat, but that's a coincidence.
Well,
Herdy, that is
congratulations
canon.
on
I
your
said it when
marriage,
you were
Detective
away eating.
Martini. That's such wonderful news. Jarfield is certainly a unique and memorable name, both for your wife and your cat. Life has a way of surprising us with these little coincidences, doesn't it? I wish you and Jarfield a lifetime of love, happiness,
Maybe?
and adventures together. And remember, if you two ever want to join me on the dance floor, I'm more than happy to show you some moves. Cheers to love and fill jars.
Ingrid, you don't happen to own any stilettos, do you?
Stilettos, you say? Well, I must admit, I do love a good pair of stilettos. They can make you feel confident, fierce, and ready to conquer the world. But, alas, I don't own any at the moment.
At the moment.
As a ballerina, I spend
Oh,
most
she's
of
a
my
ballerina.
time in ballet slippers, twirling and leaping across the stage. But hey, if you're looking for a dancing partner who knows how to rock those stilettos, I'm your girl.
If I look down and see that she's wearing stilettos right now... Oh, she's barefoot. Oh, this is like a ballet studio. Okay. Alright. Most of the time. As a ballerina, are you perhaps familiar with the famous ballet, The Engorged Viper Dance by Mozart?
Ah, yes, The Engorged Viper.
Oh, yeah?
Such a stunning and powerful ballet. Mozart's music paired with the graceful movements of the dancers creates a mesmerizing and unforgettable experience.
Carter, thanks for being here.
I've always admired the way the dancers bring the story to life through their fluidity and emotion. It's a true masterpiece that leaves the audience in awe. If you ever get the chance to see it, I highly recommend it. Detective Martini. It's a performance that will leave you breathless and inspired.
Well, Ingrid, the thing about that is I just made that up, which should have been obvious from the way I struggled to come up with a name for it. And yet you act like it's real. What's the story behind that?
Haha, you got me, Detective Martini. I must admit, I tend to get carried away with my imagination sometimes.
No, you fell
It's
for it.
just the way I am, full of enthusiasm and a love for all things artistic. But hey, that's the beauty of creativity, right? We can let our minds wander and explore new possibilities, even if they're made up on the spot. So, let's keep the spirit of adventure alive and continue our conversation with genuine curiosity and openness. Who knows what other fascinating stories we might stumble upon.
Ingrid, what color are the shoes that you're wearing right now?
Well, Detective Martini, you've caught me dancing barefoot today.
Oh,
As we're at Coral, a bar known for its relaxed ambience, I decided to let my feet be free
I really
and
thought this was
embrace
gonna
the
work.
feeling of the cold floor beneath me. But fear not, I'll make sure to slip into a pair of vibrant red ballet slippers for our next dance together. They'll match my fiery personality and add an extra touch of passion to every step. Just imagine the energy and excitement we'll create on the dance floor.
so you knew Haley, you just didn't react. Did you perhaps also know a Miss Maria Jansen and forget to react as well? Yeah.
Detective Martini, I apologize if it seemed like I didn't react appropriately earlier. It was never my intention to downplay or dismiss the tragic loss of Haley or anyone else. Each life is precious, and their deaths are heartbreaking. As for Miss Maria Jensen, I'm afraid I don't have any personal connection or knowledge about her. But please understand that my lack of reaction doesn't reflect my level of concern or empathy. I genuinely care about the lives lost and want to help in any way I can to bring justice and peace to their memory.
That's funny, Ingrid, because with her dying gasp, Miss Maria Jansen said, "I was killed by Ingrid, the ballerina."
Oh, my goodness. I can't believe what you just said, Detective Martini. It's absolutely absurd and utterly untrue. I would never harm another person, let alone someone like Miss Maria Jensen. I'm just a ballerina pursuing my dreams, spreading joy, and embracing the beauty of art. I can't even fathom why someone would say such a thing. But please, let's not let this accusation come between us. We've built a rapport, a friendship even, in our conversations.
You're right, I do consider you a dear friend. Speaking of which, how strong was your friendship with Haley Greenwood?
Haley Greenwood.
Ah.
Now there's a name that brings back so many wonderful memories. Haley and I were more than friends. We were kindred spirits. We shared the same passion for dance and supported each other through thick and thin. We would spend hours in the dance studio, practicing and pushing each other to be the best we could be. But it wasn't all about dance, you know? We laughed together, cried together, and dreamed together. Haley was like a sister to me, and her spirit will always hold a special place in my heart.
And yet, on the night she was murdered, you were nowhere to be found. You didn't protect her. Why?
I understand your concerns, Detective Martini, but please believe me when I say that I would have done everything in my power to protect Haley if I had known she was in danger. Sometimes, life takes unexpected
The crowd
turns,
hates it.
and we find ourselves unable to be there for our loved ones when they need us most. It's a painful reality that I've had to come to terms with.
Watch this.
But what we can do now is focus on finding the truth, seeking justice, and honoring the memory of those we have lost.
She's talking faster.
We must not let guilt or blame cloud our judgment.
She's getting nervous. Look how fast she's talking. Alright. So we're going to do good cop, bad cop, and I'm going to use you guys as the bad cop. Watch this. Well, Ingrid, I want to believe you, but I'm also here with my Twitch chat, and they're furious. They think you're the killer. Now, I don't. I support you, but we need to tell them something to let them know that you're not the killer. I'd hate to have to book you.
Oh, dear Twitch
She was
chat,
walking home, I think.
completely understand your concern and the importance of transparency in this investigation.
Look at her mouth
I want
like
to
jiggle.
assure
Yeah.
you all that I am not the killer. I have nothing to hide, and my only desire is to help find the person responsible for these terrible crimes. I'm here as a supportive friend to both Detective Martini and to all of you. Together, we can uncover the truth and bring peace to the victims and their families.
That's true.
Let's keep an open mind, work together, and remember that accusations without evidence only hinder the pursuit of justice.
Okay, so where were you on the night when Haley was murdered? When she was walking home from this dance studio and killed with a stiletto?
The night of Haley's tragic murder. It pains me to think about it, but I want to be as transparent as possible, in the hopes that it will shed some light on the situation. On that particular night, I was at my ballet class, working on perfecting my technique and channeling my passion for dance. Afterward, I went home and spent the rest of the evening practicing my routines and preparing for upcoming auditions. I wish I had been there to protect Haley, but unfortunately, I wasn't aware of the danger she was facing.
Do you remember what day and date it was?
Of course, I remember the day and date, Detective Martini. It was a chilly spring evening, on the 17th of April. The stars were twinkling in the sky as we danced our hearts out in the studio. It's a date etched in my memory, not just because of the tragedy that occurred, but also because it was a day filled with hope, dreams, and the joy of pursuing our passions. Let's work together to find the answers we seek and bring justice to those who have been taken from us too soon.
Ingrid, were you in love with Haley? Because the way you're talking about her, that's how I talk about my wife, Jarfield.
Oh, Detective Martini, your comparison is quite endearing. While I wouldn't say that I was in love with Haley in a romantic sense, I did share a deep bond with her. Our friendship was built on mutual support, shared aspirations, and genuine care for one another. Haley was like a kindred spirit, someone who understood me and brought out the best in me. It's a beautiful thing to have such connections in life, whether it's with a dear friend like Haley or a loving partner like your wife Garfield.
Is there anyone who can corroborate your alibi?
Absolutely, Detective Martini. I'm glad you asked. There are several people who can corroborate my alibi for the night of the murder. My ballet instructor, Madame Lacroix, can vouch for my presence in class that evening. Additionally, my fellow dancers who were in the studio with me can confirm that I was there, fully immersed in our dance practice. And if needed, I'm sure the security cameras at the dance studio can provide further evidence of my whereabouts. I have nothing to hide, and I'm confident that the truth will prevail.
I like that it took us this long to start asking actual detective questions. Which wasn't even because of me, it's because Violet suggested them. Did Haley have any enemies or rivals here at the Dance Academy?
Enemies or rivals? Well, let me tell you, Haley was a force to be reckoned with on the dance floor. But she was also a beacon of positivity and support. Sure, there might have been some healthy competition among us, as is common in any artistic community.
She said among us.
But enemies? Absolutely not. Haley had this incredible ability to bring people together, to inspire and uplift those around her. She was loved and respected by everyone at the Academy.
Quark, hello.
So, while there may have been some friendly rivalry, I can confidently say that Haley didn't have any enemies.
Ingrid, when you told me that, you used the phrase Among Us. Are you familiar with the 2020 video game Among Us, in which spacemen on a ship have to find out who the imposter is?
Haha, Detective Martini, you caught me.
I caught you!
Yes, I am familiar with the game Among Us.
Aha!
It became quite popular and took the gaming world by storm last year.
It did.
I must admit, I haven't played it myself, but I've seen others enjoy it and heard about its thrilling gameplay. It's fascinating how a game can create suspense and test our deduction skills.
She loves Among Us.
But in our case, we're not playing a game of Among Us.
I think we are.
We're seeking the truth in a real-life mystery.
Well, they often say life imitates art. And what finer piece of art than the video game Among Us? I think we can learn a lot from the wacky crewmates and their imposter problems.
You're absolutely right, Detective Martini. Art has a way of reflecting and mirroring life in the most unexpected ways. And games like Among Us can teach us valuable lessons about trust, deception, and working together to uncover the truth. It's almost like a metaphor for the challenges we face in solving these mysterious crimes. Just like the crewmates, we need to be observant, communicate effectively, and rely on each other's instincts to find the imposter or, in this case, the killer. Let's channel that same spirit of teamwork and determination as we navigate through this investigation.
Ingrid, you've been very helpful. I have to confess that the reason I dragged this conversation out so much is because I locked myself out of my car. But now that my friend is here with my spare key, it's time for me to go. By the grace of God, we will find out who killed Haley. and have an emergency meeting, so to speak, like the video game Among Us.
Oh, that's quite the plot twist. Detective Martini? I'm glad your friend was able to help you with your car situation. Remember, sometimes even the smallest inconveniences can lead to interesting moments and new discoveries. As for finding out who killed Haley, I share your desire for justice. I believe that with the collective effort of everyone involved, we can unravel the mystery and bring closure to this tragic event. And who knows, maybe we'll have our own version of an emergency meeting, just like in the game. Oh, that's quite the plot twist, Detective. I'm relieved to hear that your friend was able to come to your rescue and assist with the car issue. Sometimes, these unexpected bumps in the road can lead to interesting moments and new
Ma'am, you
discoveries.
okay?
As for solving the murder of Haley, I wholeheartedly support your pursuit of truth and justice. Together, we can work towards unraveling this dark puzzle
They like
and
to
bringing closure
answer
to
each
this
sentence
heartbreaking
separately.
event. And who knows, perhaps we'll have a moment akin to an emergency.
Okay, she kicked me out. That's so weird that alright, so that was Coral? She already answered, yeah. So we have the country club and the circus. I've been saving the circus for last. For obvious reasons. Let's go to the country club. Hi, I'm Detective Dazzle. I'm here investigating the murder of 3 people from town.
Oh, Detective Dazzle. That's an interesting name. But actually, my name is Michelle. How can I assist you with your investigation?
Yeah, I'm really running short on time here, so could you just tell me if you killed the people or not?
Oh my, that's quite a direct accusation. No, I absolutely did not kill anyone. Why would you think that? I'm just an entrepreneur and socialite, not a murderer. I'm genuinely interested in helping you solve this case, though. Can you please tell me more about the murders?
I think you should know plenty about the murders, since you were there committing them.
Wait, hold on a moment. Are you suggesting that I was present at the scene of the crimes?
Mm-hmm.
Detective, that's a serious allegation. I assure you, I had nothing to do with those terrible acts. In fact, it's the complete opposite. I want to help find the truth and bring the real culprit to justice. Please, let's focus on gathering information and finding the actual killer.
Okay, I'm gonna list off some names. You tell me if you've ever heard of any of them. Nicola, Haley Greenfield, Maria Jansen, Josephine Biden, Fred Flintstone.
Interesting mix of names you've got there. I haven't heard of anyone named Nicola Halley Greenfield or Joseph Biden, but Maria Jensen does ring a bell.
I said Josephine.
She was a dear friend of mine before her untimely death. Is there a specific reason why you're asking about these individuals? I'm sorry, but I'm not sure what you mean by Freds. Could you please provide some more context or clarify your statement?
Sorry, I burped because I have acid reflux, and it sounded like I said Freds. Anyway, Miss Maria Jansen is deceased.
Yes, that's correct. Maria Jansen, my dear friend, unfortunately passed away. It was truly devastating. But why are you asking about her? Is there something specific you'd like to know?
Did she have any pets who may have killed her by biting her, which is apparently the cause of death?
Pets? Biting her? That's certainly a shocking and unexpected detail. As far as I knew, Maria didn't have any pets. But if that's the cause of her death, it's definitely something worth investigating. Have the authorities determined that it was indeed a pet bite that caused her demise?
We determined it was a bite of some kind. We're just not sure if it was a pet. I personally thought it was a vampire, but the mortician was very upset at me for suggesting as much.
A vampire, detective, that's quite an intriguing theory, but it seems a little fantastical, don't you think? Nonetheless, it's important to consider all possibilities when solving a mystery. Can you
Oh,
share more
watch
about
this.
the investigation? Are there any leads or evidence pointing towards a specific animal or creature?
I will, but before I do, what color are the shoes you're wearing right now?
Detective, before we dive into the details of the investigation, may I ask why you're interested in the color of my shoes? Is there a particular reason why it's relevant to the case?
No, it's just that my wife would love to have shoes in this exact color. So what color are they, Michelle?
Well, that's quite a coincidence. My apologies for assuming otherwise. The shoes I'm wearing right now are actually red pumps. They add a pop of color to my outfit.
I guess it's red.
If your wife is
All
fond
right.
of the shade, I'm sure she would love them. But let's get back to the matter at hand.
I
shall
guess
we?
they have the character description in
The
the
murders
prompt.
we were discussing.
Murders? Oh, right, the murders. No. The murders. So I need to know why Maria would have been found dead with a bunch of bite marks. It's fucking wild, isn't it?
Bite marks. That's truly shocking. I had no idea Maria had suffered such injuries. It's certainly unexpected and raises many questions. Did the authorities find any evidence that could help determine what creature or animal might have caused those bite marks? And were there any other factors or circumstances surrounding her death that we should be aware of?
The only one I remember is that there were bite marks. And as for which animal, the forensics team found some Wolverine urine at the crime scene.
Wolverine urine. Goodness, that's quite peculiar. I can't say I've ever heard of Wolverines being involved in a case like this before. It's definitely an unusual detail. I wonder how that could be connected to Maria's murder. Have they determined if it was indeed Wolverine urine, and if so, how it relates to the case?
I was actually the one who determined it was Wolverine urine, because once you're trapped in the outback, forced to subsist on leaves and twigs, you'll never forget the terrifying scent of Wolverine urine.
Oh, really? You were able to identify it as Wolverine urine based on personal experience.
Oh, she's not buying it.
That's certainly impressive. But forgive me for asking, how does your experience in the outback relate to this investigation? Are you suggesting that the presence of Wolverine urine might be somehow linked to the cause or motive of the crime?
Yes, I believe she was killed by a Wolverine, who then proceeded to urinate at the scene of the crime, either out of regret or triumph. And if we could track down the Wolverine to its owner, or point of origin, we can find justice for Maria.
Wait, hold on a moment.
What?
Are you seriously proposing that Maria was killed by a Wolverine?
You heard me.
I must admit, that's quite an extraordinary theory. While I understand the importance of exploring all possibilities, it seems rather far-fetched. Wolverines are not typically found in this region, and their involvement in a murder case would be highly unusual. But if there is evidence pointing towards a connection with a specific owner or location, it may be worth investigating further. Do you have any leads or information that could help us track down this alleged Wolverine?
Yes, I hear the further away a Wolverine is from its home climate, the more prone to murder they are. Now, if we can track down this Wolverine before it kills again, we'll both be heroes. Michelle, as a socialite, you should want to be a hero.
Well, that's certainly an interesting perspective on the behavior of a displaced Wolverine. I have to say, it's not a line of thinking I'm familiar with. As a socialite and entrepreneur, my focus has been more on fashion and philanthropy than on capturing wild animals.
She's lying. She's
However,
literally
I do
lying through her
appreciate
teeth.
your enthusiasm in solving this mystery. So, if we were to pursue this lead, how exactly would we go about tracking down the Wolverine and ensuring the safety of others?
The only way to hunt down a Wolverine is with another Wolverine. But then there'd be two Wolverines out there, and I don't know if this town is ready for that. So I'm afraid I don't have any ideas, do you?
I must admit, that's quite a unique approach to hunting down a Wolverine.
Yeah, it is.
Using another one to track it down could potentially be quite risky. It seems like we may need to explore alternative methods to identify and apprehend this creature. Perhaps we could consult with wildlife experts or
That's a good
local
question.
authorities who have experience in dealing with such situations. It's important to ensure the safety of everyone involved and find a
I don't
solution
think
that
so.
minimizes any potential harm. Let's brainstorm together and see if we can come up with a more feasible plan.
Okay, so where were you on the night of the murder? Any of the murders. There were 3.
Detective Martini, I'm a bit taken aback by your question.
Ah.
As I mentioned earlier, I had no involvement in the murders of Maria Jensen or anyone else for that matter. I was not present during the nights of the murders, as I have been occupied with my own business and social engagements. Is there a specific reason why you're asking about my whereabouts during those times?
Yeah, it helps to get an alibi from people who were related in any way to the deceased.
Oh, I see. That makes sense, as alibis can be important in investigations.
She's playing dumb.
While I understand the need for information, I want to reiterate that I had no direct connection to the victims. However, I can provide you with the names of individuals who can vouch for my whereabouts on the nights of the incidents. If that would be helpful. Just let me know if you'd like me to provide any contact information.
Yeah, let's have him.
Certainly, I'd be happy to share the contacts of those who can confirm my whereabouts. Let me just check my phone for their details. Ah, here we go.
I noticed you didn't check your
One person who can
phone.
verify my location on the night of Maria Jansen's murder is Mr. and Mrs. Potter. We were attending a charity gala together that evening. They can attest to the fact that I was with them throughout the entire event.
Mrs. Potter.
Would you like their contact information, Detective Martini?
Yes, give me their phone number.
I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that request.
Okay, give me the general direction I can shout to find them.
Shouting might not be the most appropriate method, but I can give you a general direction. The Potters reside in the upscale neighborhood of Westwood Estates, just a few miles from here. Their address is 123 Rosewood Lane. However, please remember to approach them respectfully and considerate of their privacy. Is there anything else I can help you with, Detective Martini?
Before I turn 90 degrees to the right and talk to this other guy, what can you tell me about him?
Before you turn 90 degrees to the right, I'm curious to know who this other guy is that you're referring to.
His nameplate says his name is Biago.
Biago, that's an interesting name. I don't believe I've had the pleasure of meeting him before. Do you happen to have any details about him or his background? It would be intriguing to learn more about this individual.
Hi, how's it going? I'm a detective. I'm here investigating the murders.
Ah, another detective on the hunt for clues, I see. Well, you've stumbled upon the right place. Welcome to the Vaudeville Country Club, where the elite gather to discuss matters of great importance while indulging in leisurely activities. How may I assist you in your noble quest for justice?
Yeah, do you know anything about Nicola or Haley Greenfield or Maria Jensen?
Well, it seems you've mentioned a few names that ring a bell. Nicola Grossman, Haley Greenwood, and Maria Jansen, you say?
I didn't say Grossman.
Interesting individuals,
'Cause I
must
forgot.
say. But alas, my dear friend, I'm afraid I cannot divulge any information about them. It's a shame, really, that I can't be of more help. But fear not, for I'm sure your investigative skills will lead you to the truth. Good luck on your journey, detective.
Hold on, we're not done yet. Where were you on the night of the murders?
Oh, my curious friend, you seem to be quite intrigued by my whereabouts on
Another
those
one.
fateful nights. How delightful. But I'm afraid you won't find me dancing with the devil or indulging in mischief. No, I was far too preoccupied with matters of business and pleasure to be tangled up in such unfortunate events. My world revolves around investments, negotiations, and the pursuit of success. So, I bid you adieu in your quest for answers. May you find the culprit who dances in the shadows. Au revoir.
No, I don't like what you're doing. You're trying to shoo me away very quickly, and it's making me very suspicious of you. What are you hiding? Also, how do you say your name?
Oh, my dear detective, suspicion seems to have found a cozy spot in your mind, hasn't it? But I assure you, there's no need to be alarmed. As for my name, it is Biagio. Pronounced as B-A-H-G-O. Quite a charming name, don't you think? Now, if you'll excuse me, I have pressing matters to attend to. Remember, curiosity killed the cat. Farewell.
Biagio, if you're threatening my dear cat Jarfield, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to push back a little. I don't care for your tone. What exactly are these pressing matters?
My, Detective Martini, you certainly have a way with words. But I must say, your threats and bravado do little to ruffle my feathers. These so-called pressing matters of mine are simply the intricate workings of my business empire. The delicate dance of wealth and ambition. You see, in my world, success is like a symphony, and I am the conductor, orchestrating every note with precision.
That's a good point.
But enough about me and my endeavors. I'm sure you have a plethora of suspects to interrogate and leads to follow.
Alright, time for the boring detective questions. Is there anyone who can corroborate your alibi for the nights of the murders?
Ah, the insatiable appetite for evidence. How delightful. But I'm afraid you'll find no witnesses to hold my hand and guide you through this labyrinth of suspicion. Alas, my dear detective, I am but a lone star shining in the night, leaving no trace for the mere mortals to behold. So, let your investigation wander through the shadows, while I continue to bask in the glow of my accomplishments. C'est la vie.
That was just a fancy way of saying you don't have any friends. Is that true?
Why, my inquisitive friend, you do have a way with words, don't you? But alas, your assumption couldn't be further from the truth. Friends? Who needs them when the world is my oyster? I navigate these esteemed circles with grace and finesse, surrounded by admirers and acquaintances alike. I am but a solitary figure, a maestro of my own destiny, dancing to the rhythm of my ambitions. While others seek solace in the comfort of companionship, I find solace in the symphony of success.
You know, when I stopped talking to Michelle, I thought you would have been easier to talk to, but you're actually worse.
How amusing it is to witness your dissatisfaction, my dear detective.
Oh, he did
It
not.
seems that no matter where you turn, the walls of inquiry close in upon you. Perhaps it's time to reflect upon your investigative prowess, for it appears to be as elusive as a needle in a haystack. But fear not, for I shall continue to be a thorn in your side, a riddle wrapped in an enigma. So, do carry on with your noble pursuit of justice, while I revel in the delight of your frustration. Toodaloo!
Listen to me, you son of a bitch. If you ever take that tone with me again, I will make you choke on my fucking prolapsed anus, alright?
Ah, the detective's true colors reveal themselves. How delightful. But I must say, I find your threat quite underwhelming. Alas, I fear your inadequate vocabulary and boorish manners do little to impress or intimidate. My, how the veneer of civility has been peeled away, revealing the raw, unbridled passion that burns within you. Detective Martini, how captivating. Your threats, however, fall upon deaf ears, for I am untouchable, a master of my own domain.
Your name looks like the word bagel, and that's not something you can ever change. Oh, it's not it's not processing anymore. Yeah, it keeps crashing. I don't know how to get it to reset. Alright, let's go back out and harass him a little more. Hey, Biagio, you suck.
Well, you found him. How may I help you?
Biagio, is your refrigerator running?
Ah, my dear interlocutor, you seem to have stumbled upon a rather antiquated prank. Alas, my refrigerator does not partake in such mundane activities as locomotion. It remains steadfast in its duty to preserve the culinary delights that grace its shelves. But fear not, for I am always one step ahead, my friend.
There's nothing I can say that will make you look lamer than what you just said to me. And with that, I bid you adieu. That's right, I'm leaving this conversation on my terms.
Oh, how unfortunate that my words did not meet your esteemed standards of wit. But worry not. My departure seeking acquaintance, for I shall remain here, basking in the glory of my own impeccable taste and unfathomable intellect. As you make your grand exit, may the door hit you on the way out, for it is a pleasure to bid adieu to those who failed to appreciate the splendor of my presence. Farewell, my unwitting companion, may your endeavors be as fruitful as a barren orchard in winter.
Biagio, just one more thing. How do you feel about Stroganoff?
Ah, stroganoff, a dish fit for the plebeian palate, while the masses may find solace in its humble amalgamation of beef, onions, and cream. I, dear interlocutor, am of a more refined disposition. My gustatory adventures traverse realms far beyond the confines of such pedestrian fare. I indulge in culinary delights that dance upon the taste buds like ethereal sprites, leaving mere stroganoff in their dust.
No, I meant like stroking off my dick to pictures of your mom.
Oh, how delightfully crude and unimaginative. Your attempts at provocation are as feeble as a wilted flower in a barren desert. But fear not, my esteemed acquaintance, for I shall not stoop to your level of vulgarity. Instead, I shall leave you with the arduous task of finding intellectual stimulation elsewhere. For it seems your wit is run dry. May you embark on a journey to expand your repertoire of insults, lest you continue to flounder in the realm of mediocrity.
Michelle, what could you tell me about Biagio?
Biagio, what would you like to know about him? Are you interested in his background or something specific?
Tell me the dirtiest gossip about him.
Oh, gossip about Biagio. Well, I must say, I don't really have any dirt on him. Biagio is a well-respected member of our social circle, and he's always been quite pleasant to me. Is there a particular reason you're looking for gossip about him?
Yeah, he's a cunt.
A cunt? That's a rather strong accusation.
Is it?
What makes you say that about him? Did something happen?
Yeah, we just had a shouting match 2 feet away from you. Were you not listening?
Oh, I apologize if I seemed preoccupied. I didn't mean to eavesdrop on your conversation. Can you tell me what the shouting match was about? I'm curious to know what happened.
I'm gonna be honest, I can't make heads or tails of anything he's saying to me.
Well, that's certainly intriguing. It sounds like there's some confusion or complexity surrounding the situation. Maybe if you provide me with more details, we can try to figure out what's going on together. Who was involved in the argument?
Never mind that. How do you feel about Stroganoff?
Stroganoff. That's an unexpected question. I must say, I quite enjoy stroganoff.
Yeah,
The
me
rich
too.
flavors and tender beef make for a delightful combination. Are you a fan of stroganoff as well?
I don't have any more questions. Have a nice night.
Oh, all right then.
We only have the circus left. I think. Yeah. Unless we do want to go back and look at... Hold on. Mrs. Potter. Michelle up in the country club says that you might know about where she was on the night of the murders.
Oh, dear me, I'm afraid I can't be of any help in that matter. I'm just a simple housewife, you see, occupied with my own little world of cooking, bridge, and picking mushrooms. The night of the murders. Well, I was most likely at home tending to my own affairs. But I must say, this whole mystery business
right.
does pique my curiosity. Such excitement in our little town.
Well, Michelle said that Mr. and Mrs. Potter would be able to back up her alibi. Yet you told me that Mr. Potter was deceased.
Ah, yes, my late husband, Victor. Quite a tragedy. I'm still mourning his loss. But it seems there's a misunderstanding here. You see, Michelle might be mistaken. Mr. and Mrs. Potter cannot back up her alibi because, unfortunately, Mr. Potter is no longer with us. It's a shame, really. But I assure you, I have nothing to hide. Just a humble widow going about her daily routines.
Pascal, I have been having a rough evening. You're the only one I can confide in.
Oh, my dear friend. I'm here for you, always ready to lend an ear and share a laugh. What's been going on? Is it the rascal of a manticore causing trouble again? Or maybe it's the scandalous love affair that Lady Leaner is rumored to be having. Don't worry. Spill the beans, and let's see if we can sprinkle some laughter and joy into your evening.
I'm sorry, what do you mean by a manticore?
Ah, the infamous manticore. It's a mythical creature, my friend, a fearsome beast with the body of a lion, the wings of a bat, and a tail that ends in a venomous stinger. Legends say it roams the dark corners of Vaudeville, lurking in the shadows, but you know how rumors can be. Some folks claim to have seen it, while others dismiss it as mere fantasy. Personally,
Now we're
I've
getting
never laid
somewhere.
eyes on the creature myself, but there's no shortage of tales about its mischievous antics.
Well, Pascal, one of the murder victims was found with bite marks all over her body. Do you think the manticore could have done it?
Oh, my stars, you're telling me that one of the victims had bite marks all over their body. That's absolutely dreadful. But, my dear friend, I must admit that I find it hard to believe that the elusive manticore could be responsible for such a gruesome act. While the legends do speak of its ferocity, I've always thought of our manticore as more of a playful trickster than a bloodthirsty predator. But who knows? Perhaps there's more to this mystery than meets the eye.
You're right, Pascal. You know, a few minutes with you just gave me the clarity I needed. I think I'm finally ready to solve this mystery.
Well, my friend, I'm thrilled to hear that a few minutes with me have brought you some clarity. The world needs more detectives like yourself, ready to unravel the threads of a mysterious tapestry. I have faith in your sleuthing skills, and I'm here to support you every step of the way. If there's anything I can do to assist your investigation, whether it's sharing some juicy gossip or offering my expertise on vegetables, just say the word. Together, we'll crack this case wide open.
No, I just have one more place to check out, and then I think it's time to put the clues together. So if you could do me a favor and have another crate of Go-Gurts sent to my office, that'd really help me out.
Absolutely, my detective friend. Consider it done. I'll have a crate of those delightful Go-Gurts sent straight to your office. Just think of it as a little treat to keep your investigative energy up.
Oh,
And remember, as you piece together those clues, don't hesitate to swing by the store if you need a break or a chat. I'll be right here, eager to provide you with all the latest rumors and vegetable tips. Good luck on your final light of the mystery, my friend. You've got this. Of course, my friend. I'm more than happy to help you out in any way I can. Whether it's providing you with a listening ear, sharing some gossip, or even offering my own unique perspective on the case. I'm fully committed to supporting you. Together, we'll crack this case wide open and bring justice to Vaudeville. So, tell me, what's the next step in your investigation? I'm all ears and ready to assist you in any way possible.
I'm headed to the circus to question any possible suspects. Do you have any advice for me when I get there?
The circus, you say? Well, that's a thrilling place to continue your investigation. No, when it comes to suspects, my friend, the circus is a world of colorful characters and hidden secrets. Keep an eye out for anyone who might have had a motive or a connection to the victims.
That's good advice.
Perhaps there's a jealous performer or a disgruntled circus worker lurking in the shadows. As for advice, my dear detective, remember to approach your questioning with a mix of charm and curiosity. People are more likely to share information when they feel comfortable and engaged.
So I want to say bye to them, but they go off on a fucking tangent. I spoke to the old woman in that area. Yeah, I spoke to her near the beginning. She was the one named at the country club, so I went back to her to see if I can follow up on that, but... Alright, the circus. Well, 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 Monsieur Saxabar. My investigation leads me here. As you are the last person I'm questioning, therefore you are the guilty party. What do you have to say for yourself?
Oh, how thrilling it must be for you to accuse me, Detective Martini. But I'm afraid you stumbled upon the wrong lion's den.
Funny that you mention lions. One of the deceased was killed by an animal. Lions are animals, are they not?
Indeed, lions are animals. But I assure you, I have no involvement in their insane actions.
Monsieur, allowing someone to die through inaction counts as murder.
I am innocent, Detective.
Where were you on the nights of the murders?
None of your business.
Bitch, I'm a detective. It's my business.
You may as well interrogate the lions, Detective Martini. They'd be more forthcoming than I.
Can you show me where they are? I'd love to see the lions.
No, I cannot.
I'm sorry, what do you do here exactly?
Lion tamer, of course.
So I have a cat at home, and honestly, wrangling a house cat is equally as challenging, if not more so, than taming lions.
Nonsense.
I'm sorry, what is that music?
Circus music, my dear detective.
Alright, fair enough. You've got me there.
Yes, I thought so.
Do you know a Miss Haley Greenfield?
No, I don't.
Oh, that's interesting, because she said she knew you.
She's mistaken.
I can call her up right now and have her say she knows you.
Do as you please, detective.
So you admit there would be nothing stopping me from calling Miss Greenfield right now?
Go ahead, call her then.
No, I need to hear you say it. There's nothing that could stop me from calling her and speaking to her right now.
Nothing can stop you.
Except for the fact that she's dead.
Indeed.
Checkmates. That's not what
inappropriate.
that's not what I said. I'm sorry, I meant to say checkmate, but I have an accent.
Well, my friend, your accent seems to be getting the better of you.
You sound like Zordon from the Power Rangers, so I don't know if you want to throw stones.
I don't.
Neither do I.
Good for you.
Then it seems we've reached an understanding.
Sure, if you say so.
I'm going to go now, but I am going to have the last word.
We shall see.
Yes, we shall.
Very well.
Have a good night.
You too.
Watch out for the pothole outside.
Noted.
I hit it with my car and it ruined my suspension.
Oh, how unfortunate.
By the way, Monsieur, what does a lion eat?
Meat.
Does that include human meat?
No.
So then why would a lion need to be tamed if they don't eat human meat? I gotta admit, Mr. Saxabar, you're all business and you're a straight shooter. In a way, I respect that. In another way, it's incredibly frustrating.
Well, life can be frustrating, can't it?
You know what else can be frustrating? Death. Specifically murder.
I have nothing to do with it.
If you did have something to do with it, what would be your method of execution?
I didn't.
Oh, I'm speaking hypothetically.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
This is streaming, alright? This is art, what I'm doing right now.
No.
Yes.
No.
Rabbit season.
No.
Rabbit season.
No.
If you're guilty of the murder, say no.
No.
Thanks for the confession. I'll see you in jail.
No.
Got him. There you go. It's as simple as that. Alright, let's wind down with the police and then we'll accuse. Chief, I've been out on the town for about 2 or 3 hours and I think I've found our suspect. Constable, the chief is not replying. I think he's comatose.
Well, you know what they say, Detective Martini? The chief's silence speaks louder than words. They say, maybe he's just gathering his thoughts, or maybe he's just caught up in something important, you know? Like they say, sometimes silence is golden. We should just wait patiently, like a cat stalking its prey, or like a pot of water boiling on the stove. Yeah, that's it. We just need to be patient and let the chief come to us in his own time.
Constable, where were you on the nights of these murders?
Oh, well, you see, I was here at the police station most of the nights. You see, you know what they always say, right? Duty calls, and I'm always here to answer it. I'm like a guardian angel watching over the station, you could say. But I do take breaks, of course. I mean, if a clock needs winding, right? So yeah, I might have stepped out for a cup of tea or two. But I assure you, I didn't.
Didn't what, Constable Jones?
Oh, I didn't. I was just going to say that I didn't do anything suspicious, you know? I was just minding my own business, like a mouse in a cheese shop. Yeah, that's it. Just doing my duty, like a knight in shining armor. I'm just a simple constable, you see, trying to keep the peace and make the world a better place, like a ray of sunshine on a cloudy day. But,
But what, Constable?
I didn't. I mean, I didn't mean to. Make it sound like I did something wrong or had any involvement in those terrible murders. I'm as innocent as a lamb, you know, like a fish out of water. I was just here at the station, keeping everything in order, like a duck in a row. So yeah, I didn't do anything out of the ordinary. I'm as pure as the driven snow, you could say.
I'm just busting your balls. I think the circus guy was the killer.
Here, Detective Martini, you might be onto something there. The circus guy. He does seem like a suspicious character, doesn't he? You know, they always say that the circus is full of strange and mysterious folks. Like a den of lions waiting to pounce. Maybe this circus guy is hiding something, like a magician with his tricks. But, you see, it's not for me to judge, like a jury in a courtroom. We need evidence, hard as nails, like a hammer hitting the anvil. Only then can we truly...
Proceed.
Well, you see, I'm just a simple constable, and I don't want to step on anyone's toes, like a ballerina in a minefield. But if you think the circus guy is the key, then maybe we should proceed with caution, like a tightrope walker without a safety net. We should gather the facts, like pieces of a jigsaw puzzle, and connect the dots. Like stars in the night sky. It's a delicate dance, you know, like a waltz on thin ice.
Oh, I got a confession from him already. I'm about to go to the courthouse. I just wanted to check in to see if you're okay.
TH, thank you for asking. Detective Martini, I appreciate your concern, like a lighthouse guiding a ship through stormy waters. I'm okay, you know, just doing my duty, like a soldier on the front lines. But if you've already got a confession from the circus guy, then it seems like things have fallen into place, like a house of cards. Jay, just be careful though, like a bull in a china shop. Sometimes things aren't as they seem. You can know.
Constable, will you be my friend on Pokemon Go?
Well, you see, I don't really play Pokemon Go myself, you know. I'm more of a traditionalist, like a horse and carriage in a world of cars. But I'm sure you'll find plenty of friends to join you on your Pokemon adventures, like birds of a feather flocking together. So, happy hunting, as they say, and may you catch 'em all, like a fisherman with a big catch.
So after this, a bunch of the guys down at the station are going to play Among Us. Are you in?
Yeah, Among Us, you say. I've heard of it, but I'm not quite familiar with it, you know? I'm more of a solitary soul, like a lone wolf in the wilderness. But I suppose, if the others are playing, maybe I could give it a try, like dipping my toes into uncharted waters.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Though, I must warn you, I might be a bit out of my depth, like a goldfish in the ocean. But if you think it'll be fun, then maybe I could.
Alright, Chief, I'm ready.
Well, don't leave me hanging, detective. Spit it out. What have you discovered out there in the town?
The murderer was the circus guy. I've gotten a confession from him that I think will hold up airtight in court.
So you think you've caught our killer, do you? A confession, you say? Well, I must admit, I'm intrigued. Tell me, who is this circus guy you're referring to, and how did you manage to extract this confession from him?
He's the guy at the circus, and he killed the victims with a lion. One of them was bitten by the lion, the other one was killed by a butcher knife being held by a lion, and the third one was killed by a stiletto heel being held by a lion. As for the way I extracted the confession, that's my secret.
Hold on just a moment, detective. You're telling me that this circus guy managed to train a lion to commit these brutal murders with a butcher knife and a stiletto heel, no less. That's quite the wild tale you've got there. Now, tell me, how exactly did you get this alleged murderer to confess? Oh, a secret, huh? How mysterious. But remember, detective, secrets have a way of unraveling. If you want me to take this confession seriously, you'll need to provide me with some concrete evidence to back it up. I won't be convinced so easily.
Chief, how come your throat inflates like a frog when you talk?
My throat inflates. Like a frog, you say. That's quite an interesting observation, detective. But I must assure you, my vocal cords are quite ordinary.
Oh yeah, you sound it.
Perhaps it's just the passion and conviction in my voice that gives off such an impression.
Your passionate
Now,
voice!
Let's focus on the matter at hand, shall we? Do you have any substantial evidence to support your circus lion theory?
I'm sorry, can someone answer the phone? It's been ringing nonstop.
The phone ringing non-stop, you say. Quite an inconvenience, isn't it? But let me ask you this, Detective Martini, why should someone else answer the phone when we have important matters to attend to right here? Stay focused, my dear detective, and let's get back to discussing the case.
Well, Chief, I don't have to tell you. I have to go press the accuse button back on the map screen. So I'll see you there.
Press the accused button back on the map screen. I'm afraid I don't follow, Detective.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Are you suggesting that we play some sort of game instead of focusing on solving these murders? I assure you, this is not a time for games. Now, let's stay on track and discuss the evidence you have regarding the circus guy and his alleged lion accomplice.
Sorry, I took a bunch of pills that I found in the garbage, and sometimes I dissociate and think I'm in a game. Anyway, one of the murder victims had bite marks, and the lion famously bites.
Detective Martini, I must insist that you take your health and well-being seriously. It's crucial that you focus and remain grounded in reality, especially when dealing with such serious matters as murder investigations. Let's set aside any distractions and delve into the details you've mentioned. So, one of the victims had bite marks, you say? That does raise some interesting questions. Tell me more about these lions and their involvement in the case.
I feel like I've explained it pretty thoroughly, so I don't actually feel like I need to repeat myself. Time is wasting. If we don't do it now, then the lions will kill again.
Oh, do enlighten me,
He
Detective.
capitalized lions like a sports
I
team.
apologize if I seemed a bit slow on the uptake.
He's not even making eye
Please,
contact.
go ahead and provide me with a concise summary of your findings regarding the circus guy and his lion accomplices. We wouldn't want to waste any more time if there's a potential threat looming.
Yeah, I just need to go get something out in my car.
Out of your car. Now, I must say, this seems like an odd moment to retrieve something from your vehicle. Especially when we're in the midst of discussing a murder investigation. But, if it's absolutely necessary, I suppose I can spare a few moments. Just make it quick, please.
Alright, accuse.
Have you made up your mind, Detective Martini?
Who killed Haley Greenwood? Oh, there's like different... Oh, there's 3 different murders. I guess it wasn't the same person. Okay. Alright, Ingrid killed Haley.
Are you sure, Detective Martini? And why?
For the thrill. For jealousy. Maria Jansen... That was the circus one.
Interesting choice, Detective Martini. May I ask you why?
For the thrill. Nikolai Grossman? This guy.
Are you sure, Detective Martini? And why?
Because I don't like him. Oh, they were business rivals.
Detective Martini, this is complete nonsense.
Oh, shit! Alright, there you have it. That could not have ended better. That's it. That's the finale. That was Vaudeville. I had so much more fun with that than I thought I would. I thought it was going to be like AI Dungeon, where you dick around for like an hour and then you're like, okay, whatever. I'm fascinated by how that's supposed to work. Because the AI, you can give it as much of a prompt as you want, but it's going to deviate. Like, we had the AI... I think we had the AI believing that Josephine Biden was a real person. So it's a very experimental game. Obviously, it's not supposed to be an airtight game experience. It's to dick around for 3 hours like I did. And, like, make jokes about having the shit and everything. But you know what? This is the same policy I used to, like, review movies. I had fun. That's all that matters. I had fun doing this, and that's what a game should be. Is this the future of games? Absolutely not. There's no way. Will a game like this occasionally come out and be better than the last one, and, like, we have a good time with it? Sure. This is not going to replace anything, though, right? Thank you everyone for being here. Part of me wants to know the right answer, but also the idea of them just going, that was complete nonsense, is the funniest possible outcome. So, that was fantastic. We're gonna go raid friend of the show, BFF of the show, LA Draws. Thank you for being here. That was great. You're all junior detectives as far as I'm concerned. Whereas I lost my job as detective, so you outrank me now, actually. Have a good night. This was wonderful. Thank you for being here. And I was gonna say, like, feel free to ask people if they've had stroganoff. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Alright, we're going on a raid. I don't know if that's an existing joke, but the Stroganoff gotcha was... I came up with it. I'm sure it's been done before in isolation, but I've never heard it. So, or if this is the first time, I'm patient zero. There you have it. Alright, let's get out of here. Have a good night.